They can't have people oh, I've heard that before. Then they turn it out. Right. They just.
Are you sure? I don't know. I didn't.
That's the worst part of it. I advertise a lot. They've been around so long. You don't want that tune out. You don't want the oh yeah, I've heard all that. That's the worst thing when they think they've heard everything, and really they're not registered anywhere. Right. Or another bad problem with advertising is when a lot of people do the same.
Yeah, but it's
50 points.
Yeah, it was one.
Right. Oh, I know.
NASDAQ's S&P's.
And we know you don't really have that because you've outlasted so much of your competition. Kurt Rogers tried it. I think he might still. Does he still do it?
No, he's all the mortgages.
Did you teach him?
Yeah.
Did you teach basically everyone who does it?
Yeah. Wendy Campbell, the one that made it.
She tried. I mean, does she get much traction?
No. Most of them are all out of the business now.
I think they're all out of
the business. The biggest thing is they really changed their focus and they changed the messaging to universal life. They did it
right after that. What is universal? How does it differ?
It's basically term insurance with an investment account market. So it goes up and down the market. And the worst part is that the agent can say, oh, you can give an 8% return or 9% return, which is unrealistic. They sell them, they'll no, you let it phase out.
Oh, yeah, A.L. Williams.
You were set.
He was really
then decide if you want to
term and invested different.
Buying a dip.
Oh, worse than and then E.F. Hutton
or buying a dip.
Universal Life.
Within 3
That
hours.
worked for E.F. Hutton. So
which is the same, right?
Yeah, but it's all put together into one.
But term, if you don't get level term,
what's the dividend?
Even if you get term is the worst policy.
It's like renting. You never own it. So
and life insurance companies never pay the death benefit. Penn State University did a study.
What do you mean?
Only 1% of all the death claims are paid by term insurance.
Why? What does
Because
that mean?
you can either buy a 10-year term, a 15-year term, 20-year, or 30, and then at that time you have to renew it. And the payments go up like maybe 1,000%. So people say, what? So they can't afford it. So when they drop it, then they die without
collected all that
insurance.
for all those years.
It's the most profitable policy for an insurance company.
And it's good coverage for when you're young, but people need to cover it as soon as they can because of that. They need money for the rest of their life. It's more likely they'll outlive the policy.
Yeah, but there's a lot that lock you in for that term price.
What's that? How we get 80.
What? Well, you can't get it.
No, yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like mine's a 30-year policy, and my.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. It is a Monday, no. Tuesday, yes. Seems like a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. It'll be a short week. That means we have open lines. You got to snap out of it. Yesterday was a best of. Today is live. So get right in right now. 303-713-TALK, and you can talk to me right away. Not just to talk to me, but a problem, question, complaint, or a rant, a rave, an online review, on-air review. This hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7, one of the best home services company around. I've known George Donaldson, the owner, for 30 years at least. He was a young man, so it must have been less than that, because he was a pretty young man when I knew him, and he started in this business years ago with Candlelight, if you remember that. Anyway, he's got Fix It 24/7, and here's the hallmark of that company. For $39, you get an expert in your home. $39 to find the problem, no matter how long it takes, and an honest assessment and estimate. That's how simple it is. And here's all you have to do is call, and you get a licensed professional, bonded, licensed professional, whether it's HVAC or it is plumbing, and they'll tell you what's wrong. And then if you decide to have the work done, there's no obligation, but if you decide to have it done, they'll apply that $39 to the repair, and you'll never get the same amount and the quantity of work for that price, because they are value-minded through and through. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. It is Tuesday, a short week for many. Mark, what's on your mind?
David Anders, like usual all weekend. This scumbag, in my opinion, and I got to say this, wrote her another email. This is a guy that took $68,000 from her, did little, if no work, and the little bit of work he did do isn't worth anything, is why I say that. Here's what he wrote to her. You're still under contract. That's his entire contention.
Well, at first, let's just say this. At first, he said that he ran into problems with the foundation. No, first he disappeared. Then when we tracked him down, he said he ran into problems with the foundation and couldn't finish.
No, on his behalf, he mentioned to her the foundation has issues.
I understand.
It's going to be 20,000 more.
Even if it does, what he fails to understand, and by the way, he just disappeared. He never told her that at first she was just gone out of town and he disappeared. Then he said it would be 20 grand more. But here's the point. If you have a home addition and you give someone $50,000, it is supposed to be held in trust, not just in an account, but in trust for a job. It's very specific. The law is very specific. In fact, I'm going to go over it. It's one of the most disobeyed or broken laws, and one of the fewest ones that are enforced. We're going to go through with this one because it's so blatant. We're going to go after him civilly, and we're going after him criminally. David Anders, I don't know how to put this, but you are out of business. You're not going to continue like this. If anyone wants to know the story, I have a synopsis, sleazebrigade.com, sleazebrigade.com. He's the #1 story, sleazebrigade.com. It's that easy. And it's a wonderful site for all of the scum. He is joining, David Anders is joining the likes of Don Eiley, Eric Laxon,
Kalen Eccles,
Greg Martinez, Dale Eugene Campbell, Damian Gunn,
Lopez,
Henry Gonzalez, Jim Weiss. There's some charities on there. Jamie Edward Bach. Oh my goodness, Mark, this is a cool site. It's really a cool site. It's just for scum. Jim Ross,
the carpet scumbag,
carpetbagger. Remember him? Josie Rose.
Oh my God!
Psychic,
the pet psychic,
the psychic
who didn't realize if she was such a great psychic, how come when I showed up to serve her,
I know.
She didn't know I was coming.
Here's what's funny. She said to the woman, I see a fortune. I see money for you. There's an investment you must make. A name is coming to me. And the name was her son. And the investment was her son. It up. And then she made the investment and went broke on that investment. And Josie Rose took the money. She and her son. Josie Rose, you scumbag. Speaking of scumbags, Richard Roop, a real estate scammer, and then Kenneth Duncan, then Kalen Eccles, Patrick Crossman.
We've got a few more that need to be added.
How did Jim Weiss get on there twice? What?
We've got a few more to go on.
Kevin Nigel. Oh, let's see.
He was the one with the spray paint marks
remember
for 17 grand.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shane's Appliance, and then CenturyLink, and then Carol Prendergast.
What was that one?
Faux Illusions. She took money and then said she couldn't do it anymore.
I remember that. The ceiling was too tall to paint after she took the deposit.
You remembered that very good. And then we have, this one. Prestige Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Longmont.
Canceled the guy's warranty.
Canceled it because they were pissed off at it. Stephen Klein declined his services. Do you remember the logo?
Yeah, that was funny.
He took clip art.
He grabbed it from freeclipart.com, turned around and sold the free clip art, his custom artwork, for what? What was it? It was thousands of dollars.
Juan Sanchez, moron tree trimmer.
But David Anders, you have now stepped up, and you were at the top of this list.
Jeremiah Lopez, the roving, thieving contractor we got put in jail.
He's the one we got his ass thrown in jail.
Jake Needell, the jailbird contractor. Jake Needell. These are all coming back.
Tom, Damian Gunn, the Hardwood Zero.
Yeah.
That's right.
The Hardwood Zero. Yep, I mentioned him. So, sleazebrigade.com. I'm Tom Martino. The phone number is 303-713-TALK. Part of our show today, we will be talking about getting out of debt and what debt is all about. Now, debt is sometimes inevitable with certain things. We'll talk about bad debt. We'll talk about acceptable debt. There's no such thing as good debt. Karen, your turn. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on with you, Karen?
Well, hi, Tom.
Hi.
I have been, up until Friday, a 10-year-plus client of Cricket Wireless. And
I haven't heard that in a long time.
That is a very long time.
I haven't heard about them in a long time. I didn't know they were still in business.
Well, I think after the story I tell you,
all right, so what happened?
Out of business.
What happened?
I moved from Denver to Greeley, and I kept them, and all was well. I'm the kind of person that keeps a phone for a very long time. Well, when my old phone finally died, I went in, bought a new phone, and the minute they put me on the new plan, which is AT&T now, as you know,
I didn't know that. So Cricket resells AT&T. So bottom line is what?
They merged totally with AT&T.
Okay,
they are now, yeah.
It's a month-to-month service, right?
That is. Every main carrier has what they call prepaid service, and Cricket is AT&T's prepaid service.
I understand. So what's the big deal? If you don't like it, just leave it.
After going through 4 or 5 phones,
just forget them.
2 hours a shot, they finally admitted. Pardon me?
I'm listening, but here's what I don't understand, Karen. I love the report, by the way, because we want to know about good and bad services. But with this particular issue, isn't the solution drop them?
Are you like stuck with that phone or something? What's going on?
No,
tell me what the problem is.
More interesting than that.
What is it?
I think it is worthy of, in my opinion, a class action suit, because after 3.5 months.
Yeah.
After 3.5 months, they finally admitted
what?
that service in Greeley is inadequate because they need to build another tower.
But there's no class action for that. In other words, there's no class action if people can't get service on a month-to-month service. You drop them.
It isn't that you can't get service. It's that the service was substandard because they don't have.
Then you go to a different one.
Karen, what am I missing? You just drop them. What is the loss? Is what I'm asking.
The loss is I paid for a phone and 3.5 months of service before they admitted what the problem was.
All right. So you paid up front. Is that what you're saying? And if they had told you, if you had known it was such bad service, you wouldn't have paid. How much did you pay up front?
Well, I bought the phone.
How much?
Which was about $150.
Can the phone be used on any other carrier? AT&T,
no, it's
right?
Locked. It's a loss.
Okay.
Did you pay for it in full?
No.
Well,
yes,
okay, that's why it's locked. If you pay for it in full, they'll unlock it and you can bring it to T-Mobile.
All right, so wait. So a phone, though, you have something of value. What else? Because you can use the phone somewhere else. What I'm saying is I'm trying to find out your loss. How much did you pay per month? Yes, you can. How much did you pay for the service?
$46 a month.
Yeah. Now, I do believe, I truly believe, first of all, you can take them to small claims court and win. I believe you can. If they sold you a phone in an area that does not have service, I'll bet you we can get your money back if we call them.
Well, that'd be great, but here's the thing.
Yes.
They knew in advance that when they merged with AT&T, the service in Greeley would be poor.
Okay.
But they waited for the old customers to leave through attrition to be put on the new plan, and then they would leave. So all the time that they knew this, and it took them 3.5 months.
Karen, you're making the same.
To me.
Okay, so you're saying there was some elaborate hoax perpetrated by Cricket to keep customers up north.
Deceptive.
Yeah.
They were deceptive in not telling people in the Greeley area that they would get substandard service when they upgraded to the new plan, which they were forced to do.
Okay. Mark, I don't see a class action. I don't think any carrier warns anyone of poor service ever.
No.
There is a coverage map. Karen, I know you think you have this huge story and it's going to be a class action. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been cases where carriers have been in trouble for misrepresenting their coverage. If you have a map that shows a clear coverage area and it does not get coverage, you can get all your money back. If you want us to help you get your money back, leave your name and number and we'll put someone on it. I think we can get your money back if what you're saying is true. But I don't see some big class action suit. I just don't see it.
And she can definitely use that phone at other places if it's owned by her.
Yes. Yes, she can. Simply Floors Inc. will never let you down. You want to talk about saving money? I just love this company, Simply Floors, because they're simply marvelous, simply of value, simply a great place at 52nd and Ward. But better yet, you can make appointments in your home. Go to both, the warehouse or home. So why are they different? Because Buddy Mitchell puts his blood, sweat, and tears into this, along with his designers and his salespeople, and they give you top service, top quality merchandise like all the big boys, hardwoods, laminates, luxury vinyl tile, carpeting, ceramic, whatever you find in the big boys, you find here. And here's the greatest part. It's this simple. Lower overhead, lower prices to you, lower profits. He is just committed to saving you money up to 40%. You got to call him. He's as good as or better than anyone as far as selection of the big boys. And when it comes to service, he surpasses everyone. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
You don't want to do that.
That's why I was thinking, how can I get it's on YouTube. That's what I'm trying to see right now.
You really can't do anything about that, I guess.
What is it?
Unless they violate something.
It's our whole seminar. It's like an hour and a half on YouTube.
Someone took it?
That's what I'm trying to see right now, yeah.
Someone just put it up there. In other words, JC. Yeah, JC did it. No, it's not the air.
It's an hour and a half.
Is that JC's?
Download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. The weather forecast: partly sunny, a slight chance of snow showers today. Chilly, a high of 20. Right now, few clouds and 2. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30. K-How.
So we could have to
Buy Sprint. Switch to Sprint and get the best price for unlimited. Sprint works for me.
And we've been pushing our reviews hard, so we've been getting quite a bit of reviews online, which is nice. 4.7 stars. Tried for the 5, but
If you're looking for a replacement, does Chase make you change your password all the time? I've known Ted Rowland 25 years or more.
They make me change it like every 90 days. Yeah, so I just added the bang at the end. It's the same, just add an extra bang. Okay? Chris on 4, he's the one who originally called for Ophelia with the financial aid questions. So when she calls in, he has questions for her, okay? All right.
Is your brother Clint coming in today?
No, he got stuck on a flight in Arizona. He was supposed to be here, but I think the weather held him up in Arizona.
I wanted the 8 to rely on K. I know that for sure because I had windows on my home.
No, we got to settle one more.
Many years ago, and they still look beautiful. 303-421-7100. KHWindows.com. Why don't you go to their website? You can make appointments right on the website. KHWindows.com.
I know you have to be.
Hey, what are you doing up here on the roof? I want to tell the world they spent the woman.
How many times can you have lowest prices ever?
I want to tell the world that
I know, right?
$782. Liberty did what? They saved me $782. Oh, you go first then. $782. So they put finding love into perspective.
Visit us online to get a quote, and you could save $782. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Based on a recent countrywide new customer survey, coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Equal housing insurance.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino for Larson Tax Relief. Are you one of the millions of people who dread this time of year because of taxes? Listen, you can get help from Larson Tax Relief. I mean,
tax returns, how we can really help people.
Yeah.
But tax returns are going to help them.
It's time to get
They can put that as a
Build
lump
an nest
sum.
egg, yeah, help pay off that, or just help keep their money safe, tax-free, and growing that money.
Contact my good friends at Larson Tax Relief. I know Ron and
Yeah,
I personally.
if people don't have a lot of money to put in, it can be dreadfully slow. I mean, if you're only putting $200 a month.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Unless you're 25, and that's okay. But yeah, $200
So
a month.
the more the better. That's the thing. The more money you put in, the better small performance.
And I know we say that's the lowest, is $200 a month, because that's barely, enough to get a cash going. But that's what people want to know. They want to know, sadly, they want to go to the least resistant path. What is the lowest?
My main concern would be the policy extinguishing if I can't keep paying.
That will never happen.
Well, it could. You got to pay a certain amount of time. I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, you have to pay the premiums. You know?
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, what if you had a hardship and couldn't make the
Oh,
payment?
no, we can stop the payments.
Yeah, there's two switches out there.
Our policy's got a reduced paid up option. We can reduce the death benefit and pay up the policy, and they get a life insurance policy for the rest of their life
They own it
without paying anymore. And the cash continues to grow. So this is different than term insurance or universal life. This is a very sophisticated policy.
Yeah, of course it is. They got a couple switches in here. That one's irreversible. When you do that, it's paid up forever. The other one's a
But you
hardship.
can't put it back to where it was.
No, the other one is a hardship or a hardship switch. So if they have, you know, a down year or down or they're down on their job, they can put that switch on
94 itself.
and then they can turn it back off and get back on the schedule. So there's two switches.
Yeah, I'm glad, you know, it's one of those, I might end up day trading. For a quarter a share, 1,000, that's quick $250.
So we're going to be back on Tuesday with the latest news and updates. Or you can go download the podcast.
Nothing like laying out 100G to make 250.
Look at what in the last year.
I'm Tom Martino. You know, during the break, we have some monitors here in the studio, and I see an ad, lowest prices ever. Lowest prices ever.
Ever.
It was for an 80-90% off. I mean, you know, sometimes don't people get numb to that? It was a granite place, and the reason I'm mentioning it, I'm going to talk about Art of Granite and Mitch Floria. You're never going to hear him say that, but you will probably never find a better deal. And lowest prices ever, it's just not true. 80%, 90% off, it's just not true. Okay? It's just not true. And when we do our ads here, we're honest about our ads, and we love the people that we advertise for. We know them personally. The commercials on this show are part of the show. They're not an interruption. So if you want granite or solid surface or any kind of countertops, I can tell you that Mitch Floria is a direct importer. He can save you money. May not be the cheapest or the cheapest prices ever, but he can save you money, that's for sure. He can get you great prices, and you know how confident he is? If you take some photos and give him some measurements, he can give you prices over the phone. The only thing that'll change is whatever material you use, you know, custom edges, sinks, cabinets. He has a small markup there. Give him a call sometime. If you're having a kitchen done, just do it from home. You don't even have to go there. Then eventually you will go to the Golden Showroom where you can pick out specifics. He can get this whole thing done in 1 to 4 weeks, depending on how complex. Artofgranite.net, simply one of the nicest people I've ever met, and one of the greatest run companies 7 days a week, and he does the whole Front Range and mountain communities. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net, 303-386-5919. Today we're going to talk about getting out of debt. We'll do that in a second here. I just, as I said, I'm getting numb to some of these advertising messages in general. Do people look for price?
I say yes.
Do people look only for price, Mark? I think first they do almost.
I think so too, and I'll give you a good example of proof.
There's nothing wrong with looking for price.
No.
But it can't be your own determining factor. Most people get ripped off on this show. When they call us, they're ripped off because they went with the cheapest.
Think of fast food real quick, which is already cheap just to think of. Everybody started their dollar menu or their example of it.
Yes.
Now every single one of them has it, and they all compete. That's the loss leader to get you to McDonald's. Then hopefully you buy the Happy Meal instead of the 99-cent whatever.
But Mark, in commerce, and Joseph Keanu's with us today. He's a businessman. In commerce, low pricing has become one of the top attractions. Don't you think, Joe? I mean, low prices.
Absolutely, Tom. Absolutely. I believe that low prices will give you, in many cases, low quality.
Well, sometimes, right. But
I think people should be actually doing quality shopping.
Now, the people, they should. Or here's what, not necessarily quality. I'll tell you why. You don't necessarily need top quality, depending on what you're doing. And you sometimes can go with medium to low quality, depending on what you're doing. You really can. It depends on the mission first. First, shop the mission. What is it for? If it's a 1 or 2 time use, I can go to Harbor Freight and buy a tool. dirt cheap. If it's something I'm going to use over and over for a career, I can do something else.
How about when it's
mission is first?
How about when it's the same product? For example, a can of corn. At Whole Foods, that same can of corn might be $3. At Walmart's, it's $1.
And
Apple.
Okay, here's what I want to know. Do people really believe when they go to Whole Foods, do they believe that it's going to add a minute to their life by going with their organic corn?
And their granola. I hope not.
No, seriously. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about prices, but I want to also talk about saving money. Let me get to the phones here. We really got to. Okay, so what's going on with Buddy? Buddy, and then we'll talk to Joe some more about getting out of debt. Go ahead, Buddy. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm an old corncob pipe smoker. And my neighbor's saying you better extinguish that corncob pipe up there.
You're kidding around, buddy. This is not a real call, is it?
Hey,
buddy.
I said if you come into my puffin parlor, I'm gonna come out whooping.
Okay, so I don't mind the levity today, there, buddy. So what are you calling about?
Well, anyway, I said you better get out of my puffin parlor. He said I'm gonna get you with Section 9. Now, what does he mean by Section 9?
Buddy, I like your delivery. So listen, tell me about yourself. Are you a voiceover artist or what? What do you do?
I'm 75 years old, and he's coming after me.
Are you for real? Buddy, are you for real?
Are you on his side or what?
No, okay. A Section 9, I believe. Is that what he said, a Section 9?
That's when you're nuts, right?
I think.
Now, what does he mean by Section 9?
I think he means that you're crazy. But I'm not sure.
I'm getting out of here if he's coming after me with a Section 9.
I think he's saying you are nuts. Look, did you look up Section 9 there, Marco?
Yeah, it looks like,
Hey, I'm a pipe smoker.
There's a lot of different Section 9s, but I think he's referring to the one that basically you're insane.
Yeah, I think that's where they institutionalize you, buddy. So, buddy?
He might be calling from there.
Buddy?
Hello.
How long you been smoking?
I smoke my corncob pipe every day, and I have for 45 years.
45 years? Really? And how old are you?
I'm 75 years old, Buster.
Okay. And what was your birthday? The year. The year. Give it to me quickly, sir.
I was born in 1943.
You know, here's what I think. Let's see. Did he do the math right? 1943? He did? You creep. You did it quickly. Okay, listen. I like the humor there, buddy. So, do you think it's who I think it is, or is it? Do you think it is?
We're
I have the
speculating.
same.
Do you really feel it? No, he wouldn't be that crazy.
He's insane, in my opinion.
So, buddy, we're not buying the act, bro. We're not buying the act.
The guy makes me think of David Anders, the scumbag contractor.
I think that's who it is, right? Colette, what's going? I mean, this guy is truly an idiot. I mean, he's just going to go out of business. What? Just leave. At least take some self-dignity and go to another state.
Who was the automotive guy that way back in the day
Sharif.
would call up and do the craziest things?
Sharif, American 4x4 or something. Sharif or Sheriff. His name sounded like that. And, he was nuts. Hey, Colette, what's happening?
Well, I had to call, and I have to give kudos to a company that I called, got referred to from your referral list.
And who is?
Actually, I think it was Deputy Daphne.
Yeah.
Gave me the name.
And who did you go with?
Their name is House Doctors down in Colorado Springs.
And they did great for you?
The first time I called, I had the pleasure of talking with Erin. I explained my situation. She had me send her pictures, and she said, I'm going to have my technician look at it. She had her technician look at it, and she said, it looks like it's going to be kind of more than what we're understanding. She said, can I get my technician to come over and look at it?
So what happened, though, with the job itself? Did they end up doing it?
Oh, yes, they did. And they did above and beyond everything that
That's what I like to hear. I love that. Colette, I really appreciate the information.
They're a great little handyman company down there.
You know what? I love hearing the good news. Really, I do. I really do. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Adam, what's going on with you, Adam?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
2 years ago, my dog got out of the yard. It's a husky. And animal control picked him up within about a block of my house. The guy picked the dog up, put him in the cage on the truck, shut the door, and then reached in to look at his tag, and the dog bit him. And I just got a bill for $2,000.
What?
From the city.
Homeowners.
Holy crap. Hold on a second, though. We'll talk about this. That is weird to me that would happen.
Why?
I mean, that he would bill him 2 years later, and that
is weird.
And he would do it. I don't know if it came. He said it came from the city.
I bet the city's insurance company is going after him.
If you want a Colorado-made, doesn't matter to you, transmission, you know, a lot of people don't understand that when they buy refurbished transmissions, they're done. Some of them are done in sweatshops. Some of them are done to shoddy workmanship. Just because something is rebuilt doesn't mean it's good. In fact, it's sometimes better to get your transmission rebuilt. Now, here's what Budget A1 transmission and auto repair will do for you. Now, of course, they have that find, fix, or free special for any repair, and that's $89 plus parts. And then if it's really serious, like a whole transmission, they can't do it for that, but the call is free and they give you a free diagnostic. But let's just say you have a transmission problem to begin with. They will quote you a price up front, depending on your car, that will include tearing the transmission apart, diagnosing it, and putting it back together. Now, why would you want that quote? Because if it turns out you don't want the work done, then you're going to want to have it put together and keep driving. And they will give you one price and guarantee it. And then if you want the work done, once it's open and they know exactly what's wrong, they'll give you an exact quote. Now, this is a process where you need trust. So if you go there, first they will diagnose it verbally from a driving and from looking at it. If they believe it's something you need to go further with, you will get a complete diagnostic charge. And it depends on the car, but it's a low price to open it up. And as Mark Machowski says, you got to look at it. And then when they rebuild those parts, it will be in his shop. They have full control. So you can have an American-made, in fact, Budget A1 transmission made right here. Give them a call for transmission work, especially if it's acting up for this diagnostic special. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858. That's Budget A1 transmission on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth. Today...
That is crazy.
I'm going to use the little voice.
He's crazy, man.
I do too. We were on the exact same page.
Anxiety, depression, or trauma related to substance abuse. Please know you're not alone.
What is his game?
Established a special number to address your concerns. 720-893-5559. That's 720-893-5559. The Raleigh House is a premier addiction recovery program located here in
Do you realize that XM, when I canceled it in my Mercedes, right, that since I didn't buy the car again, another car, I didn't renew. Do you realize that I am getting renewal notices? And when they come, from the beginning till now, the cost is 1/3 of the original price. How much will they go down?
I changed it all.
68% savings.
I do it in my phone right now. 1 month before my year's subscription comes up, I get a reminder and I call them. Okay, because they'll go down for the entire year. 1 year, they always go down to $100 for a year. So it's about $8. $8
That's great. Oh, they really do. Yeah.
But if you don't, they go up to about $30.
I've seen it as well. I figured out why they're like that.
I just canceled
You
it.
pay for the full year, $100.
I told my baby
Tell me which one you want.
$100?
The ones that you want to watch right now.
Yeah, or like the ones you recently sent. I'll just send them all to you if you want to send them.
Yeah, I just did one not even a month ago.
Then I waited, and after like say 3 weeks, I'll call back and give you $5 a month for 6 months.
Over like $24.50?
Yeah, so I did.
Well, no, that might be right. That's
But there's nothing I can do about that. I'll just
$60
redo is what you're saying.
times
Yeah,
two.
well, yeah, I'm going to send you.
My year is
I'm
one
recording
one.
a joke now, so
But
it's better.
I get stern. You don't get stern, right? I get the all
You know, I
access.
get yeah.
Send it to me.
I get everything.
If you something you really think sounds bad, send it to me. Don't erase them right away.
Right.
Send them to me first. And then as we play them, and they automatically rotate, I think.
I wonder if our copy is good and he can resend them, the old ones.
No, the old ones, if it's recorded bad, I can't really fix them that much, but I don't.
Well, that's what I'm just trying to do is because I'm recording them different now, so where it should
So
sound
here's what I
normal.
want to do. I want to gradually replace them. I don't want to just wholesale start erasing.
I think the big ones were Art of Granite, like figure 24/7. Those are the main ones. What's that? The original.
I have this girl on for line 4. Just, okay? I've got her title there and everything. Sweet girl.
We should be having, like the dollar on their website. We're talking about the average cost per year. Just
Pay $50,000 on a kid that's 8 or 6. I want to know by the time they're, actually, let's say when they're born. Let's say when they're born. If I take out a $50,000 policy.
Is it about cash or death benefit?
Cash.
Okay. If I want to put away 50 grand,
okay.
how much will it be worth when they're 18?
You know what? You may have a problem. Why? Because of the, every company has underwriting limits. And for a child, for you to put $50,000 on a newborn baby, it would buy that child $20 million of life insurance. Too much. And
Why you can't
insurance
make it
company.
lower?
Oh yeah, you can. You can choose a lower amount.
Yeah,
But you see, they're so young, they go by age, right?
No, but what I mean is, can I accumulate money for college?
Well, absolutely.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so how do I
So
do
we
it?
would just have to spread it over. We'd have to look at it, but the thing using it as the parent has to have double the insurance that
Yeah, the
kid
parent
has.
who's buying the policy, for the underwriting department to put the policy.
I have to have a policy.
Yeah, you'd have to
I
have-
can't have a policy on my kids without me having a policy.
Exactly, otherwise they'll begin to wonder.
Yeah, they say, why are you going to have a
Why
$20
do you
million
have
on a kid?
Well,
if you don't have a
so
yourself?
so you can't buy policies for your kids without you having one, ever.
If you can't get insured yourself,
Yeah.
then you can get
That
it on
is a
that.
different
Then it's a
story.
different story. But and that's usually when we start looking at that avenue. Is when parents can't qualify themselves. That's why we say
Okay,
put it on your kids.
what I'm saying is, if I want a policy on my kid to pay for their college, what's the best way to do it?
I mean, we could do this.
No, what is it? What's the best way?
No, yeah, we can do it. So we have to spread it over a few years.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
care how many
yeah.
years. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It could be 2 years or
It could
7
be
years.
5. I don't care. But what I'm saying is, if a kid's 5, you can spread it over 5.
Right, exactly, we can do that.
That's how you lower that down.
So, okay, well then, that's what I'm getting at. If you wanted to have 300 or 400,000, back it. I want you to back it out. Tell me what, I want to talk about people saving for college too.
Yes.
I want to know what you need.
Absolutely.
So-
And there's actually, people can actually use a mech.
Yeah, we can just make the policy
we-
that.
People that use college funding, they make the policy taxable by overfunding.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. You know, we talk a lot about college funding. Now, Joe Chiano's here, and he's the one that does Become the Banker. And I was just talking about funding college with an overfunded life insurance policy. And I want to know, and I want them to do some numbers for me. If you have a child that's going to go to college at what, 18, or is this about, let's say 18. So if you need 300 to 400, let's say 400,000 by the time they're 18. Back time that. How much do you have to put in per year or per 5 years or lump sum? Could you do that for me during the show sometime? Could we just figure that out? Just roughly on a scenario? Because I know a lot of people. I know a guy personally who took out a policy on himself for his child to go to college. And he used it to buy a couple cars in between and borrowed from it. And then when his child was going to college, he was able to literally borrow it to pay for it from the life policy. And he did not pay that back. He just let it stay out there, and the death benefit will pay it off. And that's how he funded this child's education. He said if he had 2 kids, he would have paid off the first one and used it for the second one as well. Speaking of financial things, we had a question that came up on the show about kids. When do your parents' income count against you, and when do they not? It seems to me if you're an 18-year-old kid on your own, why can't you go to college and get financial aid? Or why can't you declare residency, and why can't you do this or that to get the cheapest possible tuition? One kid we knew was 21 years old, and they were asking about his parents, and he said, I don't live home. Why do I have to give my parents income? And why should that count against me? So we had a whole bunch of questions. And we decided we need someone who can answer them. And Suzanne tracked down Ophelia Morales, Director of Financial Aid at the University of Colorado in Boulder. Now, she's just going to help us understand all of this stuff because so many people have questions about parental income. And then there's another one. What if you're divorced and you have a child, you want to send your child to college? You've never heard from the dad, but the dad makes tons of money. Or vice versa. You know, can this single mom or single dad send their kid to school, or do they have to submit finances for the other one? So we'll talk about that. But Chris called too. He was one of the people that prompted our topic. And by the way, we will take all of your questions, no matter what they are. This is not an exclusive thing about financial aid. It just happened to come up. Chris, what were some of your other questions? And then we'll bring up Ophelia.
Well, just one of the other ones is, you know, they say, well, if you're claiming your child on your taxes, then you got to put in your FAFSA. In our case, we haven't claimed our kids on our taxes for years.
So your child is on his own?
20-year-old is on their own. 18-year-old's getting ready to graduate this year.
Okay, so let's ask some basic questions, and if you want to hold on, we'll do that. Ophelia Morales, thank you so much for being here, Ophelia. Appreciate it.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. I want to ask a basic question.
Yeah.
When do parental incomes count against students, and when can they get out from under that?
So the magic age is 24.
So, after a child is 20, or a kid is 24, a person, a man or a woman, is 24, or older, I mean, they can then stand on their own when it comes to paying for tuition?
Correct.
And now, what if they're younger, but they don't have anything to do with their parents?
So, there are some, okay, so if there's a special circumstance, like maybe some unusual circumstance with the parents where maybe there was...
Well, I think there are a lot of... Yeah, I think there are a lot of kids that would be on their own, right?
Well, so if the kid is just on their own, they have to use their parents' information. And it doesn't matter if the parents claim them on their taxes or not.
So if I'm 23 and my parents, I haven't lived home from 16 or 17, and I'm on my own, and my parents make a lot of money, but I have nothing to do with them, and I'm 23. Would that count against me?
You would still have to use your parents' information.
How would I get it?
Yeah. Well, if there's a relationship with the parents, then you should be able to get that.
But if you can't, I mean, there must be situations where students...
We do have situations, and the financial aid offices can use professional judgment to make a student independent if there's something unusual going on.
Okay. So it's on a case-by-case basis, really?
Completely.
So what if then you have a divorced parent and they don't talk to each other, but you have a kid, let's say a boy or girl, living with their mom, and their mom doesn't make squat, but the dad makes good money? That could count against them, too, for financial aid.
Yeah, so let me explain how divorced situations work.
Sure.
You would just use the parent that provides more than half of your support.
But what happens if they're on their own? That's what we keep asking.
No, she talked about that. Now, I was asking about a divorce here, and then we'll go back to the other one. So, if they're on their own, I mean, if they're with the parent, the one who pays more than half is the income they count.
Correct. Now, if they don't live with their parents anymore, it would be the parent who provided the support last.
Okay. And when would it be both parents? If it was 50-50?
Only if the parents were married.
Okay. All right. Otherwise, it's only the parent who pays more, and it's the last parent who supported them.
Correct.
Okay. If you could hold, because we really need to take a break, but we have so many questions. I'm sure Chris does. And Mark, you had some too. You're wondering about on your own, and she said they do it
I was out of the house at 16. My parents wouldn't have gave me any information.
No, but she's talking about, she said that financial officers can, on a case-by-case basis, say someone is independent.
Well, as if the parents are dead.
Right. Well, that would be different. But she said on a case-by-case basis, they can declare someone to be independent. So we'll talk about that coming up. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney I hope you never need. Joseph A. Lazzara can be found on my referral list at referralist.com. Joseph A. Lazzara is passionate about helping people out of tough situations. Now, no one ever condones drinking and driving, but let's face it, a big part of his practice is driving while under the influence. It's not always alcohol right now. We have a lot of people being arrested for smoking marijuana. Now, I'm not going to preach you, but just use Uber or Lyft or get a designated driver. You never have to face this. But people who try to calculate, people who do it wrong, some people may just be flat out abusers and they need help. Joseph Lazzara can help you with the traffic part of this, DUI. He can help you with any other criminal defense. 303-429-6200, LazzaraLegal.com.
That's infuriating. It is. What is it? They're emancipated. It's 17. They're emancipated. Fuck you. We want your parents' info. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
We should ask that question.
Literally, my blood is boiling.
What she just said, on a case-by-case basis.
How about you go in the service and get out of the service and you're on the GI Bill?
It's amazing to me.
Yeah, there's a good one. Let's have a GI Bill.
But just keep in mind, Ophelia did not make these rules.
You know what? Fuck her. Get her address. Police Brigade.
Mark, you sent these 3 emails. 1 day ago, 23 hours ago, 2 hours ago.
There's 3 more?
Oh,
the same guy.
Yeah, same guy. That's the guy that said, hey, I sent 3 emails.
All in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
On a Sunday.
Or Monday.
Whatever.
To us.
Yes.
God, he's a nut.
All right. Well, first of all, I want a picture of her. Sleaze Brigade, she's coming.
There you go.
I know it's nothing to do with her. That infuriates me.
Not with you, Dave.
I always ask that.
Did you read David Andrews?
Which one? Did you send a new one?
No, the one on the featured post. I like, the one I just posted. I like.
No, let me look.
This lying sack of doo-doo.
Let's make sure we push Sleaze Brigade again. God, that just drives me nuts.
And Mark's Maskey's going out tomorrow. That's the way it is.
There are so many kids, though, that are on their own, thank God, before 18 or at 18. Thank God.
They count it. Is there a law? I got to find this out.
That's so sad, yeah.
I don't think there is emancipation in the state of Colorado, though, is there?
I think there is, isn't it?
I don't think so. Not in most states. I don't think Colorado, though.
Even at 24, it's a good question. What if they're still on their health insurance?
I'm talking, my point is the people that are truly on their own. They buy their own health insurance, they have their own job, they pay for their own car, their own insurance, their own house, their own apartment, and she's saying that.
But you did hear her say on a case-by-case basis they can declare
because it's based on need. Financial aid is based on need. Right. So it only goes to the needy, essentially for the needy.
Well, he knows that.
So that's why they have the financial aid form, the FAFSA form, and you're going to be disclosing all your assets. And you know what, Tom? Life insurance does not count against the calculation.
I wonder if IRAs do.
Hide your money in life
No,
insurance.
they don't count.
Yeah, IRAs as well.
401ks, IRAs, and life insurance do not count in the calculation for financial aid.
I thought that's why people use college planning first. Then they do, like you were saying, they do mech the policy because they want to put as much money as they can in.
So they do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose, yeah, because they're using it strictly for college.
Only it's taxable on the gain, not the money that you put in.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, and the death benefit will always be tax-free. So, I mean, some people don't care. They want to just...
But when you borrow against the mech, there's no income.
When the borrow gets the mech, there's no income.
Well,
Yeah, you're still going to have to just pay the taxes on the difference. But
even if you borrow.
on the gain.
Okay,
even
so
if the mech policy.
Okay, so there is no borrowing with a mech.
Right.
There's just disbursement.
There's no tax-free borrowing.
Yeah, no tax-free, it's just taxable.
But there are people who do mech.
Well, absolutely, they do it all the time.
Because they want to get that
Because
cost.
that way you can
Wait a
reduce
minute,
the...
so I can do that?
Yes, you can do that. You can actually put a policy...
I can mech it on purpose
You can make it on
until I'm
purpose.
80 and then take out when my income's gone.
That is right. And you can do that on your children as well.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Why am I not doing that then? But how, you said I have to put it in over 2 years no matter what.
If you want to keep it
If you
not
want to keep it non-mech.
tax-free, but if you don't care about the mech, which most people don't for that
You can
college
just
plan,
add it in.
But then what if I want to keep the death benefit low so I can overfund it?
You can do that with a mech.
That's the point of the
So,
math.
oh my God, that would be an option for me then.
Absolutely.
Because I don't care about the taxes.
Exactly.
Because presumably I'll draw it out.
Right.
There's
Right.
no penalty. It's
Right.
better than a qualified plan.
It is, totally. Absolutely.
Because I can have life insurance for I don't think I can qualify for life insurance.
Well, you never, don't even try it.
In some amount you can.
Try
It
it.
was some stupid thing.
Try it.
It was like stupid that they found something that was so stupid. I forget what it was.
Yeah, but that was
it
many
like,
years
like
ago,
a
Tom.
Tommy
Let's
patent
try
at
it.
this point, yeah.
Think so? Let's try it.
Usually it's like 7 years, after
But
7 years.
I had nothing wrong with it. It was
In most cases, you wouldn't even want life insurance.
right. Yeah, but I was
For this feature you would, but that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
You want life insurance.
Hi, Tom Martino.
Hi,
here.
Tom Martino here.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. Okay, we're taking any and all calls, and of course, we want you to call about college. But we only have a few minutes left. Mark, just quickly. Now, remember, Ophelia did not make the rules. We're not going to holler at Ophelia.
Yeah,
Ophelia Morales is director of financial aid, University of Colorado in Boulder, and basically, she said, if up to 24 years old, if you want financial aid, they look to your parents to and their assets, even if you're out of the house, even if you're on your own, and that can count against some kids who are on their own. But she said on a case-by-case basis, they do declare some kids independent of their parents. Is that difficult, Ophelia? For example, Mark gave an example. What if they've been out of the house since 17? Does it matter how long they've been out of the house?
It doesn't. It really is a case by case, and it's one of the things we absolutely can't look at is that the student is just living on their own. They're just self-sufficient.
Right.
That's not a reason.
Because they figure parents should be on the hook. Is this an actual law?
It is. Yes. It's basically
What if they're married?
The philosophy of financial aid.
What happens if they're married and they have their own kids looking for financial assistance?
No. If they're married and have their own kids, they are independent.
Okay. What if they're just married?
Independent.
Okay. So they are independent if they're married. Chris has some questions. Chris, go ahead.
I was just curious, at what age do you give them student loans without parents co-signing or anything? Do you consider them an adult at 18 and give them a student loan?
They can get a student loan at 18.
On their own.
That's the lender, not her, though.
On their own, Chris, when they're 18.
But isn't it funded by the federal government?
No, it's guaranteed. Backed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So, yeah, I was just curious.
Any other questions on that for her?
Just how long that law's been in effect, because I think it needs to change.
Well, I imagine Ophelia hears a lot of objection to that, don't you?
I've been in this business almost over 20 years, and that has been a question I have had to answer the majority of my time in this profession.
What about in-state and out-of-state? Man, do you get arguments. Almost everybody I talk to say, well, my daughter has a car there, she has an apartment there, she does jury duty there, but they won't let her have in-state tuition. You know parents play those tricks, right? So how is that judged?
So that's judged state by state, but here in Colorado you have to do a number of things to become a Colorado resident, and it's usually over a 12-month period of time.
But do you have a lot of kids that go to the University of Colorado and become residents? So their last 3 years are residents?
It's kind of rare. There is also an appeal process where the student can go through a process to be emancipated.
Yes.
And again, they have to show absolutely no parental support, and it has to be a unique situation.
Okay, and then we're not talking about a court emancipation, but basically emancipation as far as financial aid goes.
As far as residency goes. They're two separate things.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Residency, because their parents are in another state, they would have to be emancipated. Okay.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I just want to chime in on
Joe
something real
go
quickly
ahead.
here. I have to agree with Ophelia 100%. We've been doing a lot of financial planning for parents for their children to go to college. And I have to say that most of the financial aid officers are first class. I mean, they're really willing to work with the parent, and they do have what they call a special circumstances letters that you can write to the financial aid office, right, Ophelia?
That is correct.
And you can actually, try to get financial aid. They will work with the parent.
Now, is it true, Ophelia, that people do not avail themselves most of the time of the money out there? I heard that if a student tries hard enough, they can almost always find some kind of money.
It sounds like you're talking about scholarships.
Yeah, in general, grants, scholarships, loans, whatever.
Yeah, we always recommend starting with the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, and then, yes, absolutely, apply for every scholarship that you can.
And how many different scholarships are there?
Oh, too many to count.
Really? And what were you going to say, Joe?
Well, you know, Tom, I was going to say that the FAFSA form is a pretty complicated form.
Yeah.
And they do take into account, you know, the parents' income and assets.
Right.
But one of the things, Ophelia, that we have done for parents is that life insurance.
They don't count that again.
They don't count life insurance.
And they don't count
retirement plans.
They don't count retirement plans, Ophelia. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
All right. So we really appreciate the short time you were with us. You really did enlighten us. That's the Director of Financial Aid, University of Colorado. Now, we have a lot more to talk about, so get your calls in. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, and we'll help you with anything. I'm Consumer.
You know what? I do want to have her number.
We don't need it. Get her number though for us for Joe wants to talk to her. And this is great. This is she answered everything.
Absolutely.
So on the next thing, yes. I can put 500 grand.
You can.
And it'll start going tax rate. Maybe
the max.
The max.
I mean, start growing.
No, tax deferred. Tax deferred. Yeah, tax deferred.
Ask her about it.
Only it's taxable when you pull it out. Only the gain.
Because there's
it's a beautiful way to do that. No. So if you want to get financial aid, are you even up for it? The bill doesn't pay everything.
Well, you got to take out.
Especially if you go to an expensive school like
Dan said that he, in his scenario, he really only gets about 3.5.
It's different when I graduated.
You get about 3.5.
Oh, no, the cost you put in so much. The way it works now, you put in
why aren't there any higher fees?
I don't even know what it all is, but it's definitely
You got to look at insurance companies. About 80% to 75% of their assets are in bonds.
They pay for all yours.
So they're not in the stock market. They're in investment grade bonds. So they're probably only maybe 8 or 9%. You know, and so they can't take care of it so much.
No, yeah, they pay for.
That's truly it. You know, like you said, like IULs, those are the online, but we don't promote those. I'll promote with the
This line one is so wild. The son is driving a big rig, I believe it's a big rig, where they proved, State Patrol proved the brakes failed. But he's behind 4 vehicles, he hits one, that hits one, that hits one, pushes a woman into an intersection, and that truck comes, kills her. And he just got sentenced to 1 year of work release, even though the CSP said that his brakes failed, like it was a mechanical failure. So anyway, that's just not.
I can get Joe Lazare if we can.
Okay.
Although we used him already.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
You know what? What about,
we'll get a different Palmer.
Let's just get, is Fuller here? No, we'll get
Yeah, that'd be crazy too, huh?
He's not the Brad Pitt you're thinking about.
Do you want me to try to get Fuller?
Not there's anything wrong with that.
I just thought in general he had a comment, but I don't know actually. No, let's just ride.
Remarkable family.
Wait, what, but is it?
No,
it's a remarkable.
That's all it is.
It eliminates.
Looked at by everybody in this.
Our diploma is talked about by the famous cancer industry.
But it doesn't transfer to tax.
No.
What is this called?
Listen to what Warren Buffett has to say.
Could you use your iPad?
I love this one.
I mean, but I think it's easier to see.
Easy.
It's like you got that backing of them.
Listen to what Rachel, a Hooters gal from Minnesota,
And it feels like baby, too.
Yeah,
It really does.
I got my master's in
That is very cool.
But if we ever talk about the max,
Doctor,
$599. Oh, that's way expensive.
Yeah, what that?
Because there's no computer.
All right.
I didn't know it that much. Yeah.
Oh, that's. I would have thought. Now that
$100 or $200.
Well, yeah. When you consider what you get in other
On an iPad, yeah.
That sounds like a Mad magazine.
Who's it?
Our dean, Alfred E. Newman.
Yeah, I mean, that's is that magazine still out?
I think so. Dan and I are going to open up an uncredited college online. You can get your bachelor's for $5.99.
3 weeks.
99.9% graduation rate. In fact, get your diploma before you graduate.
See what Tom Martino says, and we'll get a different Tom Martino.
As talked about on the Tom Martino show during the breaks on Facebook.
You guys are so silly all the time.
It's a good thing I told you, right, Jordan? About the guy and,
I mean, I would have been.
you would have been.
You
had no
shoes. Yeah, I would have been left without shoes.
How much did he say? How much did he say?
Like I said, once I heard it, I was like, oh heck, I'm not gonna even mess with this guy. I'm just gonna walk away. But I let that go. I was with my girlfriend too. She used to get sketched out by the guys.
So what about her shoes?
Yeah, right. He didn't even bother for hers.
Is Daphne here or did she leave?
That's what you should have. I thought I said that. Is that the way you tell them? Hey, they're not my shoes. Because they say, I know you got your shoes. You got your shoes on your feet.
Yeah.
Hey, they're not my shoes.
That's right. You could also say, I know where you have your shoes.
$9. They'll treat your home as
But I think when they get it, I think it says got your shoes.
Congrats. Assuming where you bought them, you don't see.
So they say God, they don't say where you bought. You got it.
I was in New Orleans years ago and they did that.
Oh yeah.
You're taking my story. My story. Suzanne, come here. You took your story.
I don't know if I'd ever do Mardi Gras again. That's pretty wild.
It's a dirty town.
That's the thing. I said dirty or Vegas.
Dude, there is trash everywhere.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah.
Good food though.
Oh, amazing food. That's the only thing. I'd go back any other time just for the food.
So did you were there?
Sarah Harris still there?
I guess I wasn't there on Tuesday, but I was there from Thursday through Monday.
Oh, okay.
Is Sarah Harris still there?
Yep, there's a Harris still there. And but you're right. It's just you can smell it 2 streets away as soon as you smell it. Oh yeah. It's just a consistent moist.
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing.
It feels like a rat house.
Did you visit the trailer parks they set up that people still live in 10 years later?
No. Where's that?
Oh no, from
Lima.
Lima.
The FEMA park. Oh my gosh. There's a temporary housing of 10 years plus.
Right.
They're still living there? Yeah. Serious? Well, what are you going to do? You give someone a free house.
Right.
Where are they going?
Yeah, they're not going to. You're absolutely right. I didn't even realize it was
So did you get a bag of beads?
Too many beads. I mean, but they're vicious out there. I mean, they, because being where we're at, the insurance company has some dedicated seats for us to sit in, and once they get towards the end, I mean, they're just hucking. The full bags are probably like 100 beads inside of them at people's faces, and just like knocking people down. Yeah, Mardi Gras beads. And they're just
the people in the parades?
Yeah, they're just hucking them off the floats at people, and they're just hitting people back. And of course, it was raining, but everybody reported it. They look for people that are not able to just do that because they want you to all eyes on them. And I guess every night they throw a special item each night. So the first day was a shoe, a phone, stuff.
Help me if you can.
I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate fighting for you. Troubleshooter Tom Martino on the radio, nearly 40 years, recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And we love doing what we do this hour. Brought to you by K&H Home Solutions. All of our people on our referral list at referrallist.com. I urge you to check them out. We got so many good things going on. And with K&H, you have Go for the Gold. Go for the Gold sale. That means you buy 3 windows and get 1 free. 3 windows, get 1 free. You also can take $6,200, $6,200 off of K&H's siding, and that's in honor of their 62 years in business. Go for the gold with K&H. KHWindows.com. Make your own appointments. KHWindows.com. 303-421-7100. Let's talk to you about your problem. Stan has a problem, and he wants to know, or he has a statement. We've been talking about financial aid for colleges and how to pay for college education, and again, we had on someone who explained that up to 24 years old, your parents' income is counted against you unless you can prove you're independent on a case-by-case basis. You can be a kid who lived on his own since he was 17, and you may not be able to get financial aid. Also, in-state tuition, you have to prove you're emancipated to live in this state, or unless your parents live here, of course. And then there are other factors to get in-state tuition. Go ahead, Stan.
My question is like this. Is like, say, like all these Dreamer Acts and stuff.
Yeah.
If they're able to get in-state tuition, and I live out of state, you know, and I send my kid to Colorado or any other state other than what the state I live in.
Right.
How come my kid, as a taxpayer,
I know.
That's just a political thing, though.
It's just, listen, I've said it before, if you have a sombrero and a suntan, you can get anything you want. You can get a driver's license, a birth certificate, you can get financial aid, you can get health, and whatever you need. You just do it. No ID necessary. You can get in an accident with no insurance, and it's it. That's it. I mean, I don't know the answer. It is unfair, and they do not give these kids, and they shouldn't give them any kid a hard time. And I want children to go to college. I'm not a hateful person. I love people. But where does it end? I mean, you're right. I have seen people not be able to go to college because they can't afford it, and others simply say, are you a Colorado resident? Si, senor. How long you been here? It doesn't matter. They don't ask. Why? Stan, I don't know why. Why? I don't know.
I'd like, thank you for your...
I mean, it's just a fact. It's the same with, I've seen people turned away from hospitals. Now, emergencies will never be turned away, critical emergencies. But I've seen people with, where they go to an emergency room, they're turned away. But you will never be turned away, ever, 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 if you are perceived to be a Mexican immigrant. You will never be turned away because they're afraid of the repercussions. So, we have political correctness ruling right now. That's what rules. And this is not a political statement either. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the way it is.
I am so proud of you.
Why?
Because you said it how it is.
It really is.
I know it is.
And it's unfortunate. Listen, I've said this before. If you either have a policy of some kind or have none. Okay? I don't know what the answer is with immigration. I certainly don't want to close our borders to wonderful people. I don't. I mean, my parents were immigrants right off the boat. I wouldn't be here without them. So immigration, but you can't.
I bet they went through the proper channels.
I don't know, but here's the deal. Here's the deal. Either I've always wanted to ask someone this who say, let them in, open borders, love not hate. Okay, I'm all for it. Are we saying, I wish someone listening, because I know I have both progressive and liberal and conservative people who listen. I would like someone who has that sign on their yard, let them in, or let them dream. I would like to ask you, are you saying we should have no immigration policy, or what immigration policy should we have? That's all I'm asking. Joe Chiano, welcome.
Hey, Tom, I was born in Mexico City.
Yes. Get out of here!
But come on. No, but I'm totally legal. I came here legally.
I understand that.
When I was 12 years old, and then when I became 22, I joined the United States Air Force, Tom, and I defended this country during the Vietnam era.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because I wanted to become a citizen of this wonderful land of opportunity.
That's great.
So I really agree with proper immigration laws.
Okay, but
Joe, what's your stance on dreamers?
No, but hold that. I don't even know what a dream. What is a dreamer, by the way?
Someone that was brought here before the age of something.
Now, I think they shouldn't be penalized, Mark, should they?
Should they be able to bring all their relatives with them then?
Well,
that's where it starts getting
one thing
weird.
at a time. Let's say if you're brought here as a kid, a baby, or a young, like 5, 6, 7, and now you're 18, 19, I think you should be made an American. I mean, you've been here your whole life. What, are you going to send them back?
Do your parents who illegally brought you over get to stay with you then?
See, that's the weird. I don't have the answer.
How about your uncle?
I don't
How
have
about
the
your
answer.
cousin?
Why? What is it? What is the policy right now?
There is no policy right now. They just come over.
Well, I know. So I don't know the answer.
Joe, what do you think, Joe? Honestly, people that you went through the proper channels. So honest to God, what do you think?
Well, you know, I don't agree with people coming to this wonderful country without the proper channels. I really,
okay.
I
but what about when they're already here and they were brought here as kids?
Then I would have to lean with you, Tom. You know, they've been here
They
for
have to have
18
some
years.
path.
What do you do with the parents then, though?
Give them a path to citizenship if they're already.
That's what they're trying to do right now.
So then the key would be, listen to what you guys are saying. The key would be I sneak a kid in this country and I become legal.
In other words, that would be, you're saying, if we did that for the people here now, that would give a signal that all you have to do is
First of all, I'm not saying I don't know what we do with the people here now. I think we do make them a citizen or give them a pathway to citizenship. But we got to stop them from coming over illegally.
I agree.
George, what is your comment, sir?
Yeah, it's me.
George? Yes, you.
Hey, Tom, I'm an immigrant from Mexico. Been here in the country for 25 years.
Yes.
And I think you're wrong about the comment about the kids that they can go to college.
Yes.
Just because they speak Spanish. That's completely wrong.
Yeah.
I have family members, well, not family members, but people that I know.
Yes.
Here illegally, they can't go to college. If you have a social security number, you can't go to college for free. That's completely wrong.
So you're saying I exaggerated when I said all you have to do is show up and you would be admitted.
Exactly right. You're exaggerated.
For in-state tuition,
First
I was
of all,
talking about. No,
that's exactly right, Tom.
I wasn't talking about free. I was talking about in-state tuition. So, George, are you telling me if a Mexican immigrant wants to go to college, and they claim to be a Colorado resident, are you saying they can't do that?
You have to prove just like everybody else that you're a Colorado resident. You can just say I live in Colorado.
You have to prove like everyone else you're a resident. What do you have to? What would you have to do to prove it?
Well, you have to go, like resident just like everybody else. You know how many years you've been living here, your parents, your address, and everything else. Just like everybody else. I have a family member that is a dreamer.
Yeah.
It's my nephew. He can't go to college because they can't afford it.
And you're saying, okay, the part about financial aid, I didn't comment on that. I was actually talking about in-state tuition. I don't know about financial aid and dreamers. I have no idea. You're telling me that they can. Are you saying that the so-called dreamer cannot get financial aid?
Yeah, I know they can't. Some of them they can't do it because they don't. Some of them they don't even have a social security.
George, are you here legally?
Dude, I've been here 25 years.
Are you a citizen?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How do you feel about dreamers? What do you feel we should do with children who were brought here and now they're adults?
I think, in my opinion, it's not their fault that they're here illegally, so they should get some way to become illegal.
Okay. And then what about their parents?
That's another story. They came here illegally, and the big law. And I understand because my friends brought me here when I was younger too, and I understand the reasons why they come here.
Yes.
But I'm not against the wall. I'm on both sides. I know how Americans feel about people coming here illegally. But on the other hand, I know why they come here because the system right now is not working.
I'm wondering what would be wrong. I'm wondering what would be wrong if we just said to our bordering neighbors, Canada and Mexico, if we simply said, if you want to come to America, you can. You simply have to become a citizen if you want to stay over a certain amount of time, and simply speed up the process. What would be wrong with it? Would we have too many? Is that what we're worried about? Would we have too many people?
I don't think so.
Is that the concern? I don't think everyone in Mexico wants to leave. What would be wrong with it? Just saying, okay, if you're here now, apply for citizenship. Start paying. Start doing. Why not?
Real quick, with the higher education you guys are talking about, so in 2013, Colorado enacted a bill, S-33. The law allows students without lawful immigration status to be considered in-state residents and exempts people receiving higher education benefits from having to provide documentation of lawful presence in the U.S. So they are. It doesn't matter. If you're not if you're not from this country...
They also don't have to submit financials.
That's what I mean. You get in-state tuition. But a guy that wants to go to CU from New Jersey can't do it.
Not only in-state tuition, Mark, what you just read, they can apply for financial aid without their parents' financials, and the kids here can't.
It's insane.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Karen, what's going on, Karen?
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
My son was in a car accident in Greeley last summer. He was actually working for a big tar fill company, pulling a rig. He had been pulling the same rig for 2 years. He's used to that truck. He was up in Greeley, kind of a 2-lane highway, not a lot of traffic.
This is a big rig he's driving, right?
It's a trailer that's pulled behind a truck.
Oh,
a heavy tar carrying trailer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, it's a big. Is it a big flatbed?
Well, I don't know. It's just a big rig that carries tar and equipment, and it's heavy.
And behind it is a trailer.
He was pulling that rig behind a truck.
Okay, go ahead. I'm not sure, but okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The truck's
It's okay.
pulling a big rig. It's a heavy rig behind his truck.
Gotcha. And the truck he's driving, is it a tractor? Is that what we're talking about?
It's like a big truck, like a dually truck, and then behind it.
Okay, a regular. Okay, just a big trailer on a big dually truck. Okay, so what's going on with it?
So he was driving last June up in Greeley on a 2-lane highway. Wasn't texting, wasn't speeding, and that was all proven by his company and investigation. But he couldn't stop the truck when he came to an intersection, and there were 4 cars involved. His truck hit the car in front of him, and then that one in front of that one. Well, the one in front, she got pushed out into an intersection, and unfortunately, at the very same time, a Mack truck was coming, and it hit her, and she died on the way to the hospital.
Oh my God!
An elderly woman, right? Exactly.
Oh.
And so.
So your son's brakes went out and led to a chain reaction, which led to a woman dying.
Yes. Yes.
And
so he was charged with careless driving resulting in death, and then 2 counts of careless driving involving injury.
Even though it was a brake failure.
Well, the state patrol is the one that discovered that the brakes went out. Ty just couldn't figure out why he couldn't get the truck.
Did he go to court and get convicted of this?
Yes, because they wanted to give him a plea, and he said no. And his
did he have
said, no,
he had a defense attorney? Hold on, and we'll talk about this. This is very, very odd. Wow. 303-713-TALK. We'll come back to that. Plumline Services is offering extraordinary savings when it comes to furnaces and air conditioning combos, more than $2,000 if you buy the 2. You get also $500 in free accessories, 0% financing for 12 months, 10-year parts and labor warranty, and utility company rebates. That's all part of that $2,000 package. Call them to find out more about this if you need a furnace AC package, and to find out if you do, just go get your combination check for $59. They'll go through both systems and adjust and make all of the necessary inspections to make sure it's in good running order. That's plumlineservices.com, 303-386-1096, 303-586-1086.
Wow. How could that happen? Yeah. And what does that mean? His brakes went out, a brake failure?
From the L&L heating
It's a car, though. Even though it's a truck, it's really
a truck. Town. First time I've been able to say that was
possible.
What happened to the guy that had that bill, that $2,000 bill?
Found 270 either side of Vasquez. Nothing out of the
state.
ordinary there. Getting reports of a crash on the
Did he hang up?
side of 6th Avenue after Indiana, and crash being called out.
Oh yeah, the one for the car, $1.
Real-time traffic.
The car with the
With the dog bit the guy?
Traffic app.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have his number?
Chance of snow showers later today. Chilly, a high of 20. Right now, cloudy and 6. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30.
Kathy Lee looks puppy.
Is brought to you by.
She's in her 60s.
I don't, but I know the guy. He is a frequent caller and listener. You might just want to throw it out there. His name was Adam.
And his dog,
His son's dog.
Yeah, 2 years later, right?
Yeah.
He gets a bill.
And he gets a bill. But his name is Adam if you want to throw it out there.
He should just turn it to his homeowner.
Yeah, that's what we were going to talk about. You said that before the break, and I didn't go back.
Homeowner goes, I mean, got to get rid of the dog.
Well, sometimes
the dog's probably gone.
If
already.
if the dog bites somebody, you're pretty much screwed.
Not only that, you get a damn
they won't
office.
raise your rates. They'll just cancel you.
More experience
for a dog.
than any
If
other
you still have that
provider.
dog. If you agree to get rid of the dog, that might be a
No
different
MDs
story.
at all. Centennial Schultz can help you with pain.
What kind of dog was it? 99% wolf hybrid? Mixed with
And
a
huskies
pit bull?
are not.
Huskies,
bad dogs.
they're not bad. They're just
No.
stupid.
Well, they're good at pulling sleds.
They're stupid dogs.
Explore your options.
That's done by huskies.
That's why they
real
pull.
well.
That's why they pull sheds. I mean, poodles would say, "Fuck
No, you call me.
Are you kidding me? You want me to do what?
Be the Tom Sawyer painting the fence.
Oh my God.
Hey, Husky, come over here.
It's great. This is really fun.
I bet you
I
can't
know, they're
pull
like
you to
crazy.
Walmart.
You know, they just are so dedicated to nothing.
Actually, my son's dog is actually pretty
Don't they like hang a fish out in front of them while they're running on the sled and they can't catch it?
That's what they do to greyhound racing.
That's donkey.
Oh, the rabbit. They chase her. You would think after the 20th time they'd understand it's a fake rabbit.
They color it different.
That goddamn wascally rabbit.
He doesn't stall.
And it always runs at the same speed, and we never catch it.
One day, though.
And at the very end, you notice there's dog food. So they run all the way around, and then they get to eat at the very end. It is kind of inhumane, I think, that. And those people treat those dogs like shit.
Oh, you could say the same with horses.
No, you can't say the same with horses, because those horses aren't racing multiple times a day.
Oh, really? The dogs race multiple times?
I think they race all the time. I don't know.
Is that one of the Bush daughters that's a twin, or she has a twin sister?
On Today?
That's George Bush's daughter, but which... She's been on the Today Show for a long time. She's a correspondent. She fills in. Oh, that's George Bush's daughter.
Yeah, I didn't know she was on the Today Show.
Oh, she's been on there for years.
And that's your favorite president ever. Boy, you always say that.
No, I do not. I've never said that.
Look at him backtrack.
I said I like him better than Obama. He's more professional than Obama.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he never said one word about Obama during his presidency. Look at Obama. Obama constantly blamed Bush all the time.
Yeah, but Trump's literally erasing his entire presidency of 8 years. I mean, he's literally erasing it. The only thing he's going to be known for is one of the biggest scandals ever.
What was that?
When the FBI decided who was going to win the election, Hillary. He's literally slowly, listen, I just see Trump with a little pencil eraser.
Okay, got it now. You're right. People don't realize, I talked to guys that's a smart guy.
Mark, so this Russian thing, what the New York Times said was that they helped Trump win, not Hillary. They weren't for Hillary, they were for Trump.
And as soon as Trump
And
died,
MSNBC said,
No, that's what they said, that Trump is not a legitimate president and that he actually...
I can't help where you get your news. Mad Magazine reported.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Stem cell therapy, Centennial Schultz. As I said, the commercials are part of the show. I'm so tired of people getting ripped off with stem cell therapy. That's because they go to chiropractors' offices and they have nurse practitioners giving shots blindly with amniotic fluids. Now, amniotic fluid is not living stem cells. It's not useless. It does work on some things. But see, the thing about Centennial Schultz, they're not going to charge you for stem cells if you don't get stem cells. They do have other therapies. They do have growth factors, and they do have PRP, and they do have stem cells. When you go to a true medical clinic, you will be charged for what you get, and you don't always get just one thing. If they don't think you're a candidate for stem cells, you may not be. But all of the stem cells are harvested right there on site and injected with imagery, knees, hips, back, shoulders, hands, whatever you need. Please get an evaluation from Centennial Schultz, 303-963-9201. That's 303-963-9201. I'm Tom Martino. Now stay tuned, and we will be talking about getting out of debt. Really important. We got some steps. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. different ways of doing it. Karen, okay, so your son's brakes failed, and he goes into a car, and make a long story short, a woman is tragically killed. Your son is charged with a crime. Is that right?
Yes, after a trial. Mm-hmm.
He was convicted in a trial.
And wasn't it a work vehicle?
Yes.
Then he must have some really bad attorney. I mean, how do you get, there's no intent. I mean, I don't know how he gets charged with a crime. What was the punishment? Or what is the punishment?
He's got 1 year work release. The fines are kind of piling up.
Is this a misdemeanor or a felony?
It's a misdemeanor. However, this was a small court up in Greeley. The police officer's wife was involved in the accident that is in that county. He responded to the accident and was like in my son's face, screaming at him. His wife was one of the vehicles in the accident. What it comes down to is his company looked at his phone records, no texting, no calling. He wasn't speeding. And then during the trial,
what happened during the trial that made him he got convicted? Was it a jury or a judge trial?
Jury. He wasn't given the choice of a jury or judge. He was just given a
Karen, it's good that he had a jury, but the fact that a jury found him guilty, I'm sorry, Karen, there's way more to this, because juries, no matter how people think, you mentioned small court in Greeley and the police officers involved, no matter what, our jury system works, okay? I have never found where you can tamper that much or have that much of a one-horse town where a jury doesn't work. I know we see it in the movies, but if there are at least, was it a 6 or 12?
I think it was 12, but I agree with you. Absolutely.
So,
we're all
he's guilty.
baffled.
What was his culpability, though? Was he texting? Was he drunk? What happened?
Nothing. He was driving the rig with his crew in the rig. He came upon a 2-lane highway where the turn lane, or actually it was just a 2-lane road. The car stopped because of a crossroad. There was an older lady in the front of the line that all the cars hit. She happened to go out into the intersection, possibly from the bump of the car, of course, and then the Mack truck happened to be coming in and it hit her. However, during the trial, they proved that the brakes failed on the rig trailer.
Right.
The trailer rig brakes failed.
All right.
And that was proven. But they still said he was careless and that he has to pay a crime because someone died.
Well, okay, then he was careless, and 12 people said he was, because 12 people don't say someone is careless unless they are. The jury system works. You can't get 12 minds to be cooperative on something unless it works. It works. It worked. That's all I can say.
He was following too close.
I wasn't there, but your son did something making him responsible. I don't know why. I don't know why you're. I mean, I know why you're calling, because it's frustrating, but I don't think you can do anything about it.
But the brakes failed on the rig. That's why I'm calling.
And the jury knew that. The jury knew that. And somebody during the court, if I had the transcript, I'd find out where he was convicted. If they're going to say that under similar circumstances, if he had not been doing something, even though the brakes failed, you don't see the even though the brakes failed, he could have done this. It's like they say, even though, yes, brakes failed, you keep focusing on the brakes failed.
The brakes failed on the other vehicle. He still pushed her into traffic.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
And what other?
His brakes didn't fail. He rear-ended someone. It pushed him into...
His brakes failed.
His brakes failed.
Whose brakes failed?
Ty's. My son's brakes failed because of the company's... It was a company truck he was driving. The rig that he was pulling, they didn't have the brakes set up properly.
The rig, and that's what's throwing me off.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So here's what happened.
There was a malfunction in the company truck.
It's very confusing. He had a dually truck, but the thing he was...
he was pulling a trailer, and those brakes failed.
That's right, the trailer brakes. Yeah. And I'll tell you this. He's responsible for that too. He should have tested those brakes. There's a procedure when pulling a trailer. You little Karen, 12 people found him guilty. What were you hoping? That I was going to say, oh, that jury must have been rigged? Seriously, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. What were you hoping to accomplish? That your son somehow got, you know what do they call it, a kangaroo court? It wasn't.
No, that he actually isn't responsible for the death because the rig pushed him into that traffic. There was no way with the accident investigation that he could have stopped that rig in time.
Well, the jury felt that he was responsible.
I get that.
Not because, listen, not because the brakes failed, because he failed to do something. I think you are concentrating too much on the brakes. And well, guess what? Even though you have a failure, does not necessarily give you a license to whatever happens after that. You, as a professional driver, which he is, you're supposed to be held to a higher standard. That jury felt, and that prosecutor made a case that your son did not react properly. That's it.
And there are appeals processes that they can go through.
Well, appeals only if you have an appealable objection.
And she's saying there must be one.
Well, you got to find something. To appeal, you have to show something. Appeals are not just because you don't believe the verdict. An appeal has to be done on procedure, or on prejudice, or on something that you literally have a suspicion that another court says, oh yeah, we'll take another look at it. But you're not going to find that. I don't think you will. Now, the other part is called a redirected verdict. You just ask, I believe that's what it's called. That's where you say, Judge, can you reconsider this? Because a judge can nullify. A judge can do that, but they seldom do that. So I think that your son is out of luck. They must have felt, and I'll guarantee you, Karen, if you polled the jury and talked to them, they would tell you why they found your son guilty. Do you know what the vote was on the jury? Did they poll them?
No, I don't know what the vote was, but however, this family of the lady that died, they're going after the company as well. So.
Oh, and they're going to come after your son civilly. He hasn't even. This is just a crime.
Done. No, they had him sign a paper saying that he would testify that he saw the company working on the brakes that morning. So then his company won't rehire him because of this accident, which in fact was the person who worked on the brakes' fault, because they have a maintenance guy who
it was
does all the brakes.
A bunch of people's faults, because your son saw them working on the brakes. I think he had an obligation to test them and to do all kinds of stuff. Listen, this gets dirty. It really does, because it's messy, and of course he got fired or he's leaving the company. He had to agree. Let me get this straight, Karen. He had to agree to save his ass. He had to agree to testify against his company. Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. And that's the way it should be. But unfortunately, I don't know. He should have made that deal beforehand. He could have talked to them about letting up a little. I'll bet you they insisted on prosecution, and that's going to help their civil case. 303-713-TALK. Alex, could you please hold on? Alex, I want your comment, okay? Can you hold on?
Okay.
All right. Really. And Dave, I want your comment as well. Both of you on immigration, so can you hang on?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take this break, and this is time to tell you about Rocky's, because Rocky's Autos has a new shipment of cars, and in fact, every couple of days you can see a big tractor trailer pull up with cars. They have front-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. They're ready for winter. They have pick-me-up trucks, Hummers. When you need Jeeps, they don't last long. Go to Rocky's 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. Rocky's has not only variety in price and product, they also have variety in colors, features, options, and financing. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal.
What do you think, Mark, about that kid? Do you think, I think he broke, I think ultimately they probably found him guilty because he was following too close. Yeah. Whether the brakes worked or not, if he was actually at the correct distance compared to the miles per hour, he would have been able to brake safely. He might have been speeding as well. Don't know.
They said not speeding.
Okay. Well, then he was following too close.
That's possible. And I'm sure if it's a company they have...
Do I think he should be guilty of some form of manslaughter? No, I don't. But he was found guilty of whatever the current law in the book is.
Right. It sounds like he got off okay. It didn't seem like it.
Yeah, you got deferred.
Got deferred. He didn't get, he's not going to get sued by the.
Or no, he got home detention. That's deferred.
The work release.
Or work release. Yeah.
Let me tell you, that's on his record, though.
Yeah.
Say he got off.
Yeah. Well, you're right. That is a valid point.
No, he's screwed.
On the work side. It's a tough one.
You've heard that before, right? Now, luckily, he wasn't texting.
Right.
Oh, anything else? That would have been. People don't realize that texting.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
Can you pull up a sound on this computer here if I want it?
But drinking, I can see.
Drinking and text.
I actually want it. Or that smoking, all that stuff.
He was taking a bong hit in between the sips of Jack Daniels.
That's right.
I was going to bring that Wednesday about jury.
You know this?
Yeah, you're kind of wrong about juries. Actually, that is true. Just because 12 people say something doesn't necessarily mean it's right.
The system works, though, Mark.
O.J. Simpson, baby.
The system did not work.
You are so honest.
The system did not work.
No, it did not. I mean,
you know what? I believe
the system does
but
work.
It didn't fit.
Yeah, no, 99%
He must have quit
of the
if
time.
it didn't fit.
I could not.
If it didn't rhyme, he didn't commit a crime.
And he must do the time. No, I just wonder, though, why the fuck did they find him?
Because Mark Furman was such an idiot.
They were all idiots.
Saying he never used the N-word ever.
I didn't realize
Then
that.
they
Did you know
produced a 5-minute tape of him
But he was
dropping
acting. He was an actor. He was an actor.
Well, you would still remember. They said under any circumstances, at any time, did you ever use it? No.
Did you know that he was doing it where he said the rant? He was actually reading out like a play.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
true.
I didn't know that.
Did they bring that out? Did the defense? Did the prosecution bring that out?
Yeah, but it didn't matter because how they quizzed him was like, listen,
Did
under
you ever?
any circumstance, not joking around, not at home, blah, 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 ever, did you ever say it under any circumstance whatsoever?
Well, everybody has.
No. He said, well, he didn't.
You got the worst two prosecutors.
And then they play a 5-minute tape of nothing but the N-word.
What was that woman's name?
What was her name? What was her name? And then the black dude.
Martha.
Did she die?
She should have.
Martha.
Now the black guy, Johnny Cochran. I love Seinfeld's interpretation of Johnny Cochran.
Oh, he is so
Your
good.
face is my case.
You're right. They did such a good job.
Look how ugly he is. Your face is my case.
That's outrageous. That's the one.
It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous. And then Kramer takes a settlement.
Was Putty one of you? Did you like him as a character?
I love him in his other show. I think
He was good though. It's just his dry humor.
I know
and
Putty
stuff.
is good. And then did you like the her boss? He was supposed to be Ralph Lauren. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
I forgot about him. No, what's his name? You made me think of Mr. Pitt, but it's
such a great character.
He comes up with the great names for clothes.
Right.
The urban sombrero. No, that was the lame.
What was his name?
Great for chasing down daisies in a field.
Elaine, I'm going off to the Sahara.
God, what the hell is his name? I was there. I was addicted to the yum yum or whatever.
He was on heroin too. Yeah.
They were really memorable characters.
He buys the wedding cake.
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Shem Lane ate it.
And then, what did she replace it with? It looks like an enemy.
And that other comedian that was always stealing a film, Gary. Yeah, he was good too. They had such great characters. My God.
They did. They were so good about it. Absolutely.
They're indelibly marked in our brains.
Yeah.
How about Newman?
Newman, so good.
What's he? Gary. It's like
We want Newman.
I read a weird fact about that. They only did that like 4 times in all 10 years. Why we think they said it all the time, I don't know.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Now,
It's important to tell you about buy and build if you want to save money. Buy and build is outrageous. You will not believe the savings. It's a big, giant, ugly warehouse at 4800 Washington Street. Buy and build. Light fixtures. I'll give you an example. A $600 light fixture we were looking at, right, in one of these stores, $600. At Buy and Build, $149. We found some plumbing fixture for $70 that you can pay $5.95 to $6.95. You can find toilets, vessel sinks, whatever you need, cabinets, granite. Buyandbuild.net, 303-295-6022, 295-6022. Dave's got an immigration comment. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, on the immigration issue as far as these dreamers go, what I'm saying is, why is this our problem?
Now, what do you mean? Because they're here, I think. That's why we're addressing it.
Well, the thing is that...
And they want to go to college, and they need health care, and they want to be legal.
Of course that's the problem. I mean, that's why it's our problem.
As an American taxpayer, why is that my problem?
Well,
why am I now...
He just said it because they're here. They're here.
Because they're here.
Okay, well, then let me address that then. So the thing is that if your parents rob a bank, you don't get to benefit indirectly from the funds that were stolen from the bank.
But Dave, are you saying that's not a complete necessarily analogy? Because
no, it is a complete
well,
analogy.
it is in a way, because here's why.
They broke the law, now their children are benefiting indirectly from that crime.
But Dave, you are automatically assuming that, and I don't want to get into like the whole economic thing, but not every immigrant is a drain on the system. They're just not. Now, there are some...
I'm not saying they are, but they did break the law.
They broke the law, but they did not necessarily...
You don't get to benefit from
but the
breaking
benefit
law.
is not costing you anything in the cases where they have been working and regular citizens. Now, obviously...
You just pointed it out. You just said that they're demanding in-state tuition. When I went to college, as a native of Colorado, I moved away for 2 years. I came back, graduated from Colorado High School. I was ineligible for 3 years to get in-state tuition.
Yet these people, boom, they get it instantly.
So what do you... No, you're right about that. But as far
That is weird, man.
As far as, though...
It's not weird. It's unfair.
But, okay. But as far as these people go that are now adults, what should we do? Should we say to them, you have to leave, for God's sakes? Do we say that?
Well, what we should do is that now that they're adults, they took 15, 20 years, didn't normalize their status. So that tells me that you don't want to become an American citizen. You want it to be given to you. You've taken advantage of
It's given
the
to me.
system.
It's given to me. When you say take advantage, Dave, here's a mindset that I don't like, and I am not for illegal immigration. I am not for, I don't know what I'm for. I truly don't know what the answer is. I'm looking for one. But Dave, I don't want to assume. You keep using words like drain and benefiting. But we can't assume that just because they're an American, we have a lot of Americans draining our system, okay?
Exactly. So why do we need to report them?
But Dave, immigrants don't necessarily drain our system. In fact, many of them...
Your words.
We are...
If we've already got a drag on our economic system that are citizens...
There are many of the immigrants, most of them pay taxes, and when they pay taxes, they don't benefit directly from those taxes or Social Security. Many of them, they won't get... Social Security.
Economically and legally speaking, the guy's absolutely correct, but you've got to bring morality into the issue. What do you do with a 18-year-old person here that's never known another person in Mexico?
King David, what do we do?
What we're going to do is, since they've taken advantage of the American system, gotten education, go home to your home country and make it better.
But they grew up here.
Come on, Dave, come on.
Why was that not...
Because, okay, what if I found out there was some documentation missing from my parents when they got off the boat, and they want me to go back to Italy? Do you really believe that's fair?
Well, you were born here, though.
That's not a correct analogy, Tom. Now, come on.
It's because you were born here. That's a whole different deal.
So, you were born here, you're a citizen.
What about, I'm just saying, what about these people? Do you really believe they should all leave right now? These adults who've been here.
With going home and making their home countries better so that...
Now, you give them a pathway. The pathway Trump's talking about, it's a 12-year deal, man. This isn't easy. There's not a magic wand that's going to make people a citizen. It's going to be a 12-year plan if they want to get there. I think that's fair.
What would be wrong with opening up a period right now for everyone here? Listen, to legally seek citizenship on a fast track. And if you don't do it during this time, you're deported. You give everyone a chance. Say, okay,
they are, but it's going to be a 12-year deal. There's
why?
No, because that's what most people agree with. I mean, that's why, because that's what Congress is looking at.
What takes 12 years for?
Well, you still get to stay here. It's not like you leave and come back.
But why does it take 12 years?
I don't have a clue.
Alex, what is your comment?
Actually, Dave stole my thunder because I have exactly the same question. Why the hell you don't like United States citizen and United States criminal that much? You applying those all benefits to illegal aliens, but same time, like that guy who took $68,000 from the lady, and you saying he's a bad guy, maybe he has a children that's going to benefit from that money.
Well, that's true. Anders does have kids, and they are benefiting from money he's stolen, but he's a scumbag thief crook, in my opinion.
Yeah, but why are you assuming that, and I can hear from Tom many, many times, that you're assuming that illegal aliens, they're all good guys?
No, I didn't assume they're all good guys. I said they're not all bad guys. They're not all draining the system.
All of them draining the system.
Well, okay.
There's an economic argument to be made for that, Tom, that if they're illegal, they are all draining the system.
Well,
there is an argument for that.
I don't think that's a legit argument because it simply doesn't cost anything to live here when you're working and you're not taking social services. You're not draining the system. I mean, that's just
if you're actually paying taxes, you're right. I agree.
I mean, and everyone that I know is, I mean, I guess there is some underground economy with cash and all that. But truly, most of the illegal immigrants that I've known, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're working and they're paying taxes. How do they do it? I don't know. Eric, what is your comment? Eric?
Hey, thanks, Tom. I think, the big issue for me is not the dreamers becoming citizens, but what happens under the current chain migration where every citizen that comes into this country, every person that comes into this country becomes a citizen.
Oh man, Eric, if you can reestablish.
I think he said chain migration.
No, seriously, I can't. I really can't understand you because of the phone connection. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. If you're buying or selling real estate, you will never find anyone better. It's simply, how much can I say? If he lists a property and you're not satisfied, he doesn't even hold you to a contract because he knows that he has to earn your business every day. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
This topic right here, I have met people here that are that make probably a couple of $1 million a year. No, I'm not talking about illegal. I'm talking about American people that make about $2 or $3 million. I know. And guess what? They're on Medicaid. How? They know how to work the system. Wow. They own a company. They own as a matter of fact, they own a restaurant. They're on Medicaid? They're on Medicaid, so they only pull enough money out of the business.
Here's the way to put it.
I'm not telling you something.
Illegals as a group, so all of them grouped together, are definitely a drain on society. Are there some that aren't? Absolutely. But as a group, they are, because they have to work underground.
But Mark, over 50% of the American population is a drain on the system.
Oh, yeah. No, don't get me going there.
They're on welfare. They're on Medicaid.
Food stamps.
Right. So, I mean,
Section 8 housing.
So what's the
Obamacare.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
I get it.
So that means that, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems.
Well, that's why, what is it? That's why 5% pay the taxes for 95% of the population.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know that's how Tom wants it.
But I know you said, Tom, about making a little amnesty. Reagan did that.
And then what happened? Here we are again.
And they were supposed to close up the Democratic, the Congress was supposed to close up the.
He did make a
blanket
amnesty program.
Blanket amnesty.
Well, it's whoever was there then.
Yeah. And the deal was, if they did this, that they were supposed to close up the borders and make illegal immigration. 1987 we did it.
We need to get Clint's bird hunter turret gun out there.
Everybody wants to come to this country.
Well, not everybody. Boy, you hear a lot.
No, the majority. They
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Norwegians.
Norwegians.
No, that's true. The Swiss.
Yeah.
I don't see the Swiss flocking here.
America was born with immigrants.
Absolutely.
They came to Barry Island in New York. I mean, you know, they
People
love
have-
their country.
99% of our country.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
So you know what? I think we're
99.9.
I think we're going against the principles that this country was built on.
Yeah, but it needs to be legal.
But there has to be a process.
Yeah, it has to be a I agree with
You
that.
know, the one thing that would end it almost instantly is that E-Verify.
Yeah, absolutely.
If every company faced massive fines if they don't run them through
I've
E-Verify,
said that.
it'd be over.
I agree.
That would be it. Then, you know what they do? They just make the companies responsible for whatever taxes they should.
But they have to open up the work visas. They have to open that up so it's very easy.
Yeah, but some of these, you know, we also want immigrants to come over that are educated. How come all the immigrants we get are not
Hey,
educated?
Mark. No, no. We have a lot of people right now as clients, okay, that are actually, they came from Mexico. They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. One guy.
That's what we want.
Yeah, I know. He actually owns a car dealership here. And I'm telling you, he makes a lot of money. He pays a lot of taxes.
Yeah.
We have a housekeeper, okay, that makes a lot of money.
They're saying
I just told him.
the process is so
all
long,
I'm saying
it
is
takes
they pay taxes.
Yeah.
Are they here on a visa?
No.
That's what they do.
So how do they? How do they pay taxes?
He's a
I
TIN
a
number
tax-
for his corporation.
Tax identification
So he
number.
plays the TIN, but he said the process is like a 7 to 10 year process to get your citizenship.
But how does he pay taxes?
Just through the TIN, through the corporation, the business.
They can pay taxes through that
Gonna say business.
tax identification number.
Yeah.
TIN. You don't have to have a social security number.
I know a guy that's paying
Government
taxes
takes
too. I don't know how he does it. Oh, wait.
They use it at TIN.
Or EIN?
So he's getting out of
Someone
it, so
simply
he's not
applies
paying
for
Social
a
Security
social
then.
security number.
Probably not, no.
How do, what if somebody applies? Can you get a social security
Not
number?
without being either a citizen or actually you have to be legal here. You can't just get a social
So,
security number.
how do you get a social security card? I don't even know. How do you get one?
But
When you're born, you apply. Your
Yeah.
parents apply.
I mean, you actually get a birth certificate for
My
one thing.
kids have socials then, okay.
Oh, true, kids do.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually done right at the hospital before you even leave.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, that's right, because I didn't get mine
Yeah.
until I was probably
Now.
12 or something.
Now it is.
Or until I got a job, 15.
Golden Orchard has some vacancies. They're very rare. Golden Orchard Assisted Living. That's where Farrell and her husband, the Johnstons, they built these specifically to be beautiful, beautiful assisted living homes. They specialize in memory care, Alzheimer's, dementia, but they take normal, everyday, healthy citizens as well without the problems. They have some vacancies in their Centennial and Wheat Ridge facilities. They're beautiful facilities. They do a one price covers all. So I think it's between $4 to $5 grand, whatever, is everything, all inclusive. Furniture, everything. Now you can bring your own furniture if you want, but that's meals and snacks and activities and utilities, and you live in a beautiful home. If you're interested for your loved one or for yourself, 303-795-0784. It's a wonderful place. GoldenOrchard.com, 303-795-0784. Art, go ahead. Art, your turn. What's happening, Art?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I listen to you all the time, and, you know, I understand you've got ratings. I understand you're trying to promote the show, but I really believe that you are part of this problem with the debate in this country about illegal immigration. You had an individual who gave you a scenario of mom and dad robbing a bank, and the children should not be the beneficiary of that.
Right.
And yet it's, yeah, but. And that is the biggest problem that I have with the debate in this country about illegal immigration. Yeah, but.
Art, here's what I said. Not all of the immigrants who came here robbed a bank or benefited illegally other than their entrance. Now, I know entering is illegal. Art, I understand. Entering the country without due process is illegal. I understand that. All I'm saying is, when a kid is now in his 20s, what do we do with him?
You're exactly right, and I am on your side in that statement.
What do we do with him? I don't know.
If we don't come to a consensus that your parents broke the law,
right,
and you are the offspring of those people that okay, you get a 12 years dispensation. I don't know what we're going to call it. But if we, as Americans, don't come together with a solution, we will never get past this. And it's going to be, we're going to tear ourselves apart from the inside, just like we have, history has proven.
What do you think people mean? What do you think people mean when, this is what I never can understand, when they say, you see the T-shirt, let them in, or open borders. What does it mean?
It means that we are a land of immigrants.
No, I mean, what do people, what are these people advocating?
We need to have a process. I lived overseas in Japan for 12 years, all right? You cannot go anywhere in that country without buying a stamp or some kind of way that they track immigrants.
But Art, there are some in this country that believe, just look at the Academy Awards, there are people who believe that we should just open our borders and to do otherwise is hate.
Could you do that at the radio station?
No, and I'm not advocating it, Art. I'm saying, Art, I'm saying that if you look, the majority of the media and entertainment industry is preaching that. They're preaching it. That open our borders, let them in. They don't want any semblance of a system. They don't. They think it is hateful. I'm not making this up.
They want more voters, man.
But Art, I am not, by the way, I am not advocating illegal immigration. All I'm saying is I don't know what to do. I don't have a stand. I truly don't know what to do. I think something has to be done for sure.
You give them a pathway. You give the dreamers a pathway. Then you build a big, beautiful wall so it doesn't happen again.
Robbie, what is your comment?
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I wanted to say exactly the opposite of Art. I think that you're part of the solution, not the problem, by allowing us to speak about this. So
what do you think should be done, Robbie?
Well, for the kids, I mean, I don't think there's any question. For kids that were brought here at no fault of their own, that they deserve citizenship. They are Americans. They are Americans.
Then what do you do to their parents? Do you kick their parents out?
Well, I mean, that's where it gets really tough.
About their grandparents?
Yeah, we have to, you're allowed to stick around, Robbie, but we have to take other calls too, and we have to take this break. Excel Roofing is one of...
Some other dealership. It wasn't
O'Mara is the problem lately.
Is that the one you said you knew something changed?
Something had to have changed. Well, no, there was another one. Something. Oh, wait.
I think it was a different one.
Hold on, let's see. Last week you said something. Yeah, it was not Planet, but it was one of those.
No, I think it was Planet. I think it was Planet. I think it was Planet. We had 3 or 4 planets in a 3-week period. 2 last week. It was Planet. Was it Planet? Look in here. See if you have Planet.
I don't remember.
Oh, no, Tynan. Tynan. It was Tynan. I mentioned Planet.
It was Friday.
I mentioned Planet too, but I mentioned something changed. I had Tynan.
Real Tynan Volkswagen.
Well, they have more than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. 3 of these, they're all locked up. Highest relation.
There was a Tynan, there was an O'Mara too.
There was a Tynan and an O'Mara? Oh, where's it? Where are they?
Oh yeah, no. The Tynan, I didn't write down what it was, but the O'Mara was.
Where was the O'Mara?
Pardon me, Tom. Reminder, you got Brent coming back. He's already dialed in.
Where was it? Right here, right there. Signed papers for Carl when brought. Remember, as the older guy that signed the papers.
Oh yeah, well that was stupid. He bought the car and didn't want it anymore. That's all that.
Well, he signed it. But he had the handshake deal that he could bring it back in the morning and stuff.
Two separate challenges. The California gun laws were not in a Supreme Court review. The justices did not comment, but left in place rulings by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. One upholds a
But it's true, other countries, like you go work in the Middle East. Yeah.
Oh my God! If I opened a business up in Cancun, they fucking hang me. They take every nickel I had. I was looking at a taxi medallion down there years ago. It's $100,000 in Cancun.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, dead serious. I couldn't buy it. I'd have to have a Mexican partner.
You can't own land as a non-citizen in Mexico.
Well, I think even a citizen, I think
No,
it's
you
still,
can-
isn't
right,
everything
Mexican
still a
citizen can
99-year
own land,
lease?
right?
Say that again?
A Mexican citizen can own land in Mexico, right?
A Mexican citizen?
Yeah.
Actually, there's kind of I haven't been.
It's a 99-year lease, right?
Yeah, no, you don't really own it.
Yeah, it's the same
Oh,
thing.
even for
Yeah.
people who live, really? Oh, okay,
But you
know,
can't even lease it for 99 years.
No, I think you can.
You can actually buy lease one. You can actually buy a home.
In Mexico, you don't like own the property, you do like a 100-year lease or a 200-year lease, whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, there's a lot of American citizens that go to Mexico to retire, and then they buy homes.
Yeah, of course.
They bought, condominiums and all that stuff. Right.
Yeah, and they have them though. I mean, for all purposes, they own it. Right. Yeah. Right. They just look at it different there.
All in-stock kitchen cabinets and up to 40% off select bath fixtures and vanities.
Yeah. Who's going to build a wall?
5% on every purchase.
Who?
The Mexicans are going to build a wall.
No, they're going to pay for it.
No, they're going to build it. They're going to build it, and guess what?
Cat, wouldn't that be funny as hell? Yeah.
No, think about it. If you look at all the workers.
Yeah.
Look at McDonald's.
No,
Look
you're
at
right.
every
The
single
Mexicans are going to build a wall.
Look at that doggone
And some Harandos, or no, what do they call it?
they're all Hispanic.
They're going to break the little hatches.
I mean, do you think a kid that was born in this country is going to go to work for McDonald's for $10 an hour?
In 10 years, it's not going to matter because it's going to be a robot doing all those jobs.
I know, but what I'm saying right now.
Mexicans are going to build a wall.
No, yeah. And look at all these places.
Yeah, he's right. Most of the people that literally are putting the bricks up are Mexicans.
Yeah.
No, of course.
Who's going to do it? Do you think somebody's going to do it from here?
And especially on the bordering,
There's no
it's
way.
on the border.
There's no way. There's no way you're
They're
going
not
to
going to
put
put
up
up a wall. Why would they? If they want to make money, who cares?
And who's that guy from Boston, Kennedy? That said, as soon as you build a wall, my generation will tear it down.
Who said that? All that Kennedy.
They haven't seen. Hey, I haven't seen the Great Wall of China go anywhere in about 1 billion years.
So Joe's talking about the Kennedy that afterwards with the chapstick on.
Chapstick. He says it's chapstick. He was dripping some kind of stuff down there.
Who's this guy named Chap? It's chapstick.
Oh God.
All right.
Who's this guy named Chap?
My favorite's when the Pope came out and he was against the wall.
Man.
Have you been to Vatican City? It is a wall.
Oh yeah.
How come they haven't torn that down?
I know that's a good one.
I couldn't believe he came out against the wall.
What are you bashing us Catholics?
Hey, I was baptized Catholic.
What happened to you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
My grandmother died, and then everybody else got lax. You want to know what happened? That's what the fuck happened. Like every Catholic family, pretty much.
That's a good point. That's funny that you bring it up.
Everybody was going to church, and everything was great. She died, done.
Everything gone. Yeah, lax. That's what happens.
Do they blame her?
Damn Graham. She would have rolled over in her grave, though, when it came to that child molestation and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
She would have rolled over in her grave.
What's so bad about that is the people that were bishops passed and the priests around the different churches and not taking care of the problem.
It's like most problems, though, at that level, it's a very political problem as well. It truly is.
Yeah, but if your whole thing is on what's good for people,
it's still a political problem. What do you do with a guy that apparently has been doing that, but he's been with the church from day one, and most likely it was done to him?
Put him in jail.
Well, I agree with you, but that's not how they handled it, is it? And that's not what Mandis says. Mandis says, let him free!
Manda.
Yeah, your buddy over on 710. The attorney, isn't his name Mandis? Kaplan. Yeah, Kaplan.
That guy's a nut. He really is.
Let him go.
I don't think he says that.
Give him a pass.
No, I don't think he says that.
What does he say? He sure doesn't like talking about it.
Right.
I'm Martino on 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We are going to talk to you about your problems, questions, and complaints this hour, brought to you by Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. I also have in the house with us Become the Banker, who we're going to be talking about overfunding life insurance, and I want a scenario about paying for kids' college and then some getting out of debt. We also had a lot happening with immigration. We just talked about it. It is a consumer issue. It is. I'm not handling this as a political issue, you know, the left versus the right. I'm talking about economically and financially. What harm are they doing, if any? Are they doing harm? I don't know enough stats to know if it's harmful or not. I do know that it is an issue. Some people feel there should be no policy whatsoever. Just open the borders. Anything else is hate. Others feel there should be a wall. And then what happens to those so-called dreamers? All of that is up for discussion. And your problems, questions, and complaints as well. And as well as a revisit of sleazbrigade.com. Dave Anders is a scumbag. I want you to go to sleazbrigade.com to read about him and then to avoid him. So, a lot of people want loans for shorter terms. I like that Ideal Home Loans has custom term loans. Brent?
Well, we do, Tom. You know, you can really make this work for whatever you need. Now, we're seeing a trend right now with rates starting to inch up that people are jumping on the wagon and taking advantage of getting into a 15-year mortgage. And here's what they're finding. They're finding that they can pay their house off more quickly, save themselves well over 6 figures in payments and interest, and not spend much more every month than they are on their current home loan today. But if you're someone that needs a custom term, maybe you're 6 years into your mortgage, 12 years into your loan, we can help you with that as well.
And that is the way to go with Ideal Home Loans. They have the interest rate guarantee as well. Find out more at 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, or idealhomeloans.com. Joe Chiano's with us, Become the Banker. Getting out of debt, the first thing, they have a program for getting out of debt. You can use this Become the Banker for many things. It's overfunding life insurance. It grows tax-free or tax-deferred. And really, the idea is to borrow from yourself over time. But how do you use it to get out of debt? I want to do step one, to get out of debt. What's step one first?
Step one, Tom, is actually overfunding the life insurance policy.
But that's not step one. You have to know how much you're paying, right, in your monthly payments?
Right. I mean, if you have credit card debt.
So if you're paying $300 a month in minimum payments, what do?
Basically, we're going to be advising people to keep paying $300 a month.
On their minimums.
On their minimum. And anything over that they're overpaying, they should be using to fund the Become the Banker life insurance
policy. And when
policy.
they fund that policy, what does that do?
Basically, it makes their cash accumulation grow within the life insurance policy.
And then how long does it take to accumulate enough to make a difference?
Sometimes it's immediate. It just depends how much money they can put into the
policy. But you put as much as you can. So let's say in 1 year I've been making minimum payments, and now I have a lump sum. What do?
You take a policy loan from yourself.
Yes.
And you're going to be paying off Visa.
Well, which one do you pay off?
The credit card with the lowest balance.
Why?
Because it's the easiest one to pay.
Okay. And then, also it shows progress.
Right. And then the money that you were paying that creditor, you put it back on your policy.
Okay, so
now it grow even faster.
If you're doing your policy at 200 and your bill's at 300, if you now save 50, now you're paying your policy 250.
Exactly.
Okay, then what do? You accumulate. Then you have to pay back that loan.
Right. You have to pay it back.
And you charge yourself interest.
You know, if at the same rate.
Okay.
The same rate that you were paying that credit card company or
whatever. And that helps you accumulate more cash value.
Exactly.
And then you pay off the second balance.
Correct. And this is Jordan here.
Go ahead. The second balance.
Take off the second balance and then pay yourself the minimum that you're paying on that balance back to your policy. So like you said, $250.
So when you do this, you keep making that monthly payment, but you're getting out of debt about 5-10 times faster.
Oh, incredibly faster, because keep in mind, the loan that you're taking from yourself, you're not getting charged compound interest like you are with any other debt.
But you're paying, artificially you're paying yourself that interest to shelter more money.
Yep.
Okay, so then eventually you're paying, you're now converting, and now you're paying about without making any more money, you're paying, eventually you'll be paying $500 to yourself a month, and no credit card debt.
Correct.
And then the next purchase you make
it out of your own policy.
Instead of credit card.
You got it.
Now, do you have a real-life example of someone who's done this?
We do. We've had a gentleman, and I think he actually came to the show. He had close to about actually, no, I'll take that back. It's close to about $500,000 in debt that he had financed. And we're talking about mortgage, 2 mortgages, some credit cards. But in reality, it was closer to about probably $750,000 after paying all the things. So what we did, we were able to take all of his overpayments, stuff it in the policy.
So he made minimum payments only, and then took the extra money.
Put it in a policy. Put it in the policy. His current situation would have been 30 years. He would have been out of debt. With us, he was able to get out of debt in 8.6 years.
I want to talk to that man. I would love. Can we interview him on the show?
We can. We'll have to.
It doesn't have to be this time. Next time.
Absolutely.
All right. I really do. In 8.5 years, and he didn't pay off his mortgage though.
Not right now, but he will be at the end.
Oh, okay.
At the end.
How many years into this is he?
He's in about a year and a half in right now.
Okay, I want to talk to him. That would be great. Okay, we have a lot of people who want to talk about immigration as well. By the way, becomethebanker.org or becomethebanker.info to see the video. I want to take people who've been waiting the longest. That's the only way to do this fairly. Mark?
We had someone email a while back. His name's Flint. Real quick, we were informed we wanted to do an after-school program. Our kids needed help reading. We showed up and we were declined, but I bet you can guess who was in the class.
Okay.
Had to go to the school board, They do possibly drain the system all the time.
Okay. I will grant you that a lot of people drain our system, legal and illegal. Now, I understand when people say, Tom, what don't you get? Illegal immigration. They're illegal to begin with. I understand that part. I'm not for illegal immigration. But I don't know what we do with the people already here at no fault of their own. Or what do you do with people who are contributing? Why don't they become citizens? Is there a problem we don't know about? And the ones that do want to become a citizen, how long does it take? Listen, this is a really big problem. I know it's easy to just say kick them all out. That's the easiest thing to say. Now, with O'Mara problem, I see you. A shady contractor, I see you. We will get to you. Patty, you have a comment. You've been waiting. I just want to take you. Go ahead, Patty.
Yeah, hi there. I appreciate you taking my call.
Yes.
Everyone else does. And I've been listening. Both you and Mark have valid points. Now, I got to tell you, my background, my mother was from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. My father, after I was born, I became naturalized. So I'm basically an American citizen. And a couple of things. Illegal immigration is not just Mexico and the Latino countries. We're talking about Europe. We're talking about Asia. I mean, it's got to apply to everyone. And
I don't see Europe sending over MS-13, though.
No, but I understand what she's saying. I mean, obviously, she's saying that when we talk about immigration, we're talking about everyone. But what Mark says is true. 90% of our immigration is when you say Mexican.
I don't want to put a number on
Okay,
it,
but when you say, how about this? The majority, would you say the majority of people here illegally are Mexican?
I would say a large amount, yes.
Would you say the majority?
I'd say a majority,
Yeah,
sure.
okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so with that said, it irks me because it's not just them, though. See, you've got to apply it to everyone. If you've got other folks coming in from Europe, Asia...
Yeah, I don't think anybody disputes Syria. That. I don't think anybody disputes that. Do you?
Okay, so with that said, that's where I don't have issue with this. I do have issue with this wall thing. Now, Tom, your question was, what do we do about it? Now, like I said, my mother was from Mexico. When we came here, when they got married and we came here, she learned the language. She learned English.
Yes.
And she became an American citizen.
Yes.
Regardless that she was married to my father.
Okay.
Now, with the children, with the dreamers, I have cousins and such that are dreamers.
I'm waiting for a point, okay?
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just waiting for it.
Okay.
I'm hoping you're going to get to one is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to give a little bit of background.
Sure.
Anyway, with the dreamers, they should not be penalized for their parents doing. I blame the parents on that.
So then do you let the dreamers stay and kick their parents the hell out?
No.
What do you do? That's the point of this conversation, if you could add to that. What do you do?
So my opinion, this is just my opinion, just because I see what's going on, is the dreamers are, you can't send them back to the country that they've never been.
What do you do? What do you do?
Is so they need to become citizens, and if they're not on a list or they've not gotten their visas, they've got to do it. Now, the parents...
Okay, listen, I'm sorry, but you're just going in circles. Yeah, they got to do it. We all agree.
They got to do it.
They have to do it. I don't mean to, I don't want to belittle you. I appreciate it. They have to become citizens. Okay, the whole point is we don't know how to do that. Phil, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was thinking a way to fast track this immigration thing with the Dreamers and all this other stuff. The Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force.
I love that idea.
A few good women and men. They'll give you free schooling. They'll feed you. They'll pay you.
I've always said that.
Family. And I think at some point, if you're not...
That's what Joe did right here. That's sitting in our studio. That's how he became a citizen.
That's exactly what I did. I did it during the Vietnam era, and I joined the United States Air Force, and I became a citizen of this country right after that.
I love it. Okay. Now, Jeff, you want to warn us about a shady contractor. What's going on, Jeff?
Yeah, hey, Tom.
Hey.
So I hired a roofer to re-roof my mother-in-law's home. She's elderly. She's 88 years old. And he did the roof. There's no problems with that. But what he did, and I have no idea why, but he took a tube of the silicone caulk and he dropped it down the pipe jack on the roof.
Why?
I
mean, to be hateful?
Must be an accident.
Yeah. So somehow there was an accident, right?
Well, I don't think it was an accident.
What do you think he was trying to do? What was he trying to do? Hurt her?
I mean, it would only be a guess. I don't know if he was just being a knucklehead or being ornery, or I have no idea.
Anyway, so what was the result?
So after this and that and getting the plumbers out there, my mother-in-law incurred about $1,500 because they had to dig up some plumbing and get that thing out.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and he's...
Okay, but it just doesn't... Were they having a disagreement? Was he mad at her for something?
No, they were...
So does it seem likely that he would do that?
Well...
Did you ask him about it? How about that? Did you ask him about it?
Oh, absolutely, several times.
And what did he say? Did he say he did it?
Well, none of his employees would cop to it, and he gave me lip service over a couple weeks ago.
Do you expect him to pay for this?
No, he's already said he wouldn't, and I've filed a small claims.
I don't know how you prove. To me, there was nothing going on. They weren't arguing. He was there working. It just doesn't make sense to me that he would just screw up like that.
Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe it was there before they even did the roof.
I don't know. I think it was a mistake. Why do you not think it was a mistake? Is it because I've seen? Was it a roof? One of those vents, those round vents?
Right.
And it looks perfectly. It almost looks like a tube of caulk would fit perfectly in it.
Exactly.
I know, it's weird. Do you think
it'd be a tough accident?
I wonder if somebody was. I don't know. It almost looks like somebody was saying, look, like it fits, and then by mistake dropped it and didn't say anything.
Did they take care of it?
Anyway, what's the point of the call? You just wanted to warn us about this guy?
Yeah, he's just not doing anything about it.
But I'm not sure it's fair. But anyway, what is... I don't know, Mark. I mean...
God, I think of a bad contractor. I think of David Anders.
Jeff,
I mean, this guy sounds like a saint.
Jeff, I don't know. He did the whole job. He got paid. I don't think I'm gonna put out...
Are they going to take it out? Did they handle it for him?
He won't. They won't handle it.
How would you get it out?
Well, they had to hire contractors to go down and get it to $1,500.
Wow.
Small claims court is the place to go, but I don't know if I want to ruin this guy's rep on that, because it could be somebody did it by mistake or one of his workers did it. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. Let's talk about addiction. It's not something we want to talk about, ever, really. I mean, why would you? That's why the Raleigh House has established an information line, because they know that people are not likely going to bring this up in a conversation. Hey, my wife's a drug addict, or my husband's an alcoholic, or my kid's on meth, or my daughter's on cocaine. It's just not something we talk about. This line is to talk about it. Now, it's not for therapy, it's for action. If you want to know what to do next, they'll tell you. What stage is the addiction? Did you know there are different stages of addiction? Ask about the cost of treatment, the availability of treatment. Ask about what the Raleigh House offers compared to other treatment programs. You know, the Raleigh House isn't going to try to give you a sales job on this line. This line is about information. It's that simple. No one knows what to do about addiction right off the bat, and it'll never change without some kind of help or intervention or information. If you're an addict, you can call. If you're in a family, if you're in a circle where there is a drug addict and you need answers, call. No questions are off base, none. Ask about anything, just to help yourself understand this addiction and this disease, and then to help the addict. Call one, call as a family, call as a group, call several times. Just do something. 720-893-5559. This is sponsored by the Raleigh House, a premier addiction recovery program. 720-893-5559. Confidential and free. 720-893-5559.
This report is brought to you by Create TV.
There's a few minor slow spots in the highway drive in the metro area, but for the most part, speeds are looking good across town. A little bit of slowing on the westbound.
What a headline.
Just to the west of Quebec, watch out for that. No delays on I-25.
Man attacks clerk with hot dogs and corn dog sticks.
Southbound I-25. Well, they're sharp.
He poked her in the eye, man. Yes, probation. He was on probation, of course, for something else.
On your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. The weather forecast. A slight chance of snow showers today, but chilly. A high today of only 20. Tonight, it's going to be cold overnight with a low of 4. Right now, mostly cloudy and 10. With your traffic and weather, right?
You say about the military is pretty tough to get in now.
Now it is. You're right. Vietnam, man. They take anybody. I mean, they took Joe.
No, you know what, though, Mark? You can enter. This thing about the immigration thing is getting really, it's really getting out of hand, I think.
You've heard
you see, I believe in paying it forward. When I joined the military, I saw a lot of people that were born in this country that were not amounting to anything. Absolutely. And then I thought, I mean, what's the difference?
Man, you ever drove through like?
I mean, what's the difference? Why do people? I think we're all born the same way.
Because they have the Bill of Rights. They have
Mexicans or Italians and all that. But all I'm saying is, there's people that are born in this country that don't take advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah,
Yet there's Mexicans.
And they suck off the public trough all day.
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah, but under her Constitution, they're citizens, so that's the difference.
That is the only difference. Right.
That's a pretty big difference, though.
But economically speaking, it's the same.
Yeah.
Hey, are you tired?
I agree. Well, but when we're born with those rights.
So, like, say, what other country? Mexico won't let Guatemalans in. Mexico is the highest Hispanic country of all the Hispanic countries, right? But I mean, but you know what? Here's the difference, though, Dan. They let Americans in. If you have money in the bank, you can prove that. Absolutely, right? That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine if we did that here?
Well, if we said that here, it is here. No, I think you do have to have enough money. No, because see, when I brought my family here to visit, they have to prove that they have enough money, that they're not going to be a burden in the United States. Right. So I mean, those are the legal ones. Those are legal. That's what they're saying is illegal and stuff. Well, no, that's because they come through the border.
Well, you got to, regardless of what, you got to stop illegal immigration.
I agree. Right. I totally agree with you.
But I mean, you give a quicker pathway, you can do a lot of stuff.
But the wall, that you're talking about, is going to be built by Mexicans. I'll guarantee you.
A lot of money. Yeah, it will be.
Oh, you're saying built by Mexicans.
Literally.
Labor.
Yeah, the labor. No. The labor.
No, I still say they might pay for it over some tariff or something.
He's saying it's going to be
labor.
It'll be a new Cancun tax.
Boy, it will be. It will.
So then really it'll be us paying for it because
That's right.
we'll be paying the tax.
Or all the avocados soon being imported from Mexico.
Or they can go like California and stop you at the border and charge you for free.
You know, one of the fastest growing, alcohol is tequila.
You should not
Oh,
make them
tequila's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that's all Mexico.
So just wait.
Agave.
Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Wink and Wink are bankruptcy attorneys I hope you never need. Winkandwink.com. That's all I can say, but Mike and Gigi are wonderful people. If you do need a fresh start, today we're talking about getting out of debt. That's preferable. And becomethebanker.info with more information on that, becomethebanker.org. Contact them directly, too. So, two numbers. First, bankruptcy when there's no hope, 303-920-1622, winkandwink.com. Guys, what number do they call if they want to talk to you directly about your Get Out of Debt program? 303. Turn on the mic there.
303.
Yeah.
779-6600.
6600, 303-779.
What day are the free seminars?
We have them on Thursday, this coming Thursday,
yeah,
the 22nd,
yeah,
at 6:30 p.m. in Centennial, or Lakewood at 10:30 in the morning.
Excellent. So you go on becomethebanker.info for more. You can sign right up. Listen, we have Jerry who claims to have a solution to immigration, which is... Go ahead.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, man. What's going on? What's going on?
Just a real basic solution to immigration. This is my thought on it.
I'm here, man. Go ahead.
Whatever country you're from, and you're here illegally, we'll just simply enforce that country's policy on immigration.
Do so what? Did you say? If you do what?
From Mexico,
enforce.
Enforce Mexican immigration policy.
What is their policy? I don't even know. What is it?
Oh, a lot stricter than ours.
Yeah, that's a good thought. He's saying, hey, you know, you go by, if they would kick you out, then we'd kick you out. Whatever. This is what they're saying. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Ron, what is your problem? Oh, no, this is from last week. I'm so sorry, Ron. Give us an update. Go ahead there. What's happening, Ron?
See, there's
Ron with O'Mara.
Yes.
Volkswagen?
Remember he thought he was doing a test drive and he bought it?
No, I understand that.
O'Mara Ford hasn't called us, Tom, so that's why he's back on.
Okay, they never called us back, huh?
No, they did not. We left 2 messages with them.
This is unfortunate. Did you look at the did we look at it?
My son even left a text message.
He bought it.
Did you look at the paperwork?
No, I didn't, but he admitted he bought it. I mean.
Okay. So, Ron, I guess I don't understand what you expect us to do. If you went into a dealership and signed a dozen papers and drove away with a car, what basically are you hoping we can do about that?
Okay, part of what you said is true. Part of it is not true.
What is not true?
We went to look at a car on the 26th of December.
Yes.
I was with my son trying to help him.
Right.
He went out with a salesman for a test drive. They came back. We all sat at a big round table.
And you signed papers. That part was true.
And that part's true.
Okay.
And then came evening, Tom, getting dark. I'm hungry. I want to get home and eat.
And you left.
I told the salesman, I said, tell you what, let us have a chance to think this over and talk it over tonight, and we'll come back with our answer for you tomorrow morning.
But you said that after you signed everything.
Yeah, but we expected them to hold off until we came back the next morning.
So you expected them to take the paperwork that you signed and not really go through with it, just wait until you came back?
Until we came back in the morning and gave them our answer.
Okay.
If our answer was no, then they should have shredded the paperwork.
Okay.
But they didn't even wait for us to come back, Tom.
Of course they
went
didn't.
ahead early that morning.
Of course they did.
And sent that paperwork to the bank.
All right, Ron, without any proof, Ron, without any proof of deception or fraud, this sale is going to stand. Now, unfortunately, they didn't call us back, but really, they're probably figuring, why should they? I mean, really, it's preposterous. Here's what I'd have to say. I'd have to say to them, okay, O'Mara, Ron did not really mean to buy this car, so could you please tear up the paperwork? That's the problem. Where is the car right now, Ron?
I have no idea, sir.
Do they know where it is?
We went back the morning of the 27th, like we had promised them we would do. We left the car there with them, left the keys there on the desk with them, and looked like they were trying to force something on us that we didn't want.
Well, you already bought it. We've established that. I understand you didn't mean to, but you bought it. And Ron, so where do you think the car is?
It should be on their lot unless they've turned around and resold it to somebody else.
Well, they can't resell it. You own it. You own it.
Maybe they did tear up the paperwork. Who knows?
I talked to another
well, let's find out. Are they trying to come after you for money?
Yes, I've got 2 bills here from the Volkswagen Credit Union in the state of Illinois. The last one just came here a couple of days
What do you mean
ago.
the state of Illinois?
Well, that's where their credit union is.
That must be where their financing's out of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When you say 2 bills, how long ago was this?
This was just last Christmas.
Yeah, right after Christmas. We went there the afternoon of the 26th. Which
Yeah, you told us that a million times. Bro, you don't have to go there again. I promise you. I'll
The
pull my
best
teeth
question,
out.
though, is, he brought it up. Or you brought it up. Where is this car?
That's the problem. We don't know where the car is, Ron, right? You don't know. We don't know. I mean, where is the car?
I have no idea. These
okay.
people told... I had another gentleman here in town who works with the automobile industry, and he was trying to help me, and they told him that they had delivered that car, that it was sitting in my driveway here in Greeley, Colorado.
But here's what I want to tell you, Ron. I want to tell you some facts, because this is what's going to help you best. It's your responsibility now to get that car, no matter where it is, because it's yours. And no one is going to go along with your story unless O'Mara voluntarily goes along with it. You bought the car, so you better mitigate your damages. What I mean by that is, get the car. At least you have something in your possession, and then you can sell it. Or you can at least try using it. Now, if you don't get the car, then how much is the loan? Do you know the total loan?
$21,000 plus.
Okay. If you can't afford to pay it, then you're going to have to do 2 bankruptcies, one for you and one for your son, because they're going to come after either one of you.
I'm sure it's crushing his credit.
And your credit's going to be ruined. But I don't know what else you can do. Now, Bill's got a comment. Let's see what he has to say. Go ahead, Bill. What do you think?
Yeah, with my experience in collections, he got a 30-day notice, he got a 60-day notice, his next one's going to be 90, and they're going to come looking for that car. He doesn't already have a voluntary repo, he's going to have a repo.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad.
And he doesn't even have the car.
No, I don't. I told him, I said, you folks are at liberty to come to my home. You can look at my garage.
Okay, all right, we've established that. Now, but Ron, what I'm telling you is, you need to handle this. You understand? It will not go away. And as much as I would...
I am trying to handle it.
Ron, I would love to help you, and that's what I'm doing. I am telling you the true facts here. You're not going to get out of the deal unless O'Mara voluntarily does it. You cannot force them by saying they forced you. It's not going to work. One of the main reasons is it's been so long, okay? And you know, this is, Ron, you're not a stupid man. You signed this paper. You signed at least a dozen times. And on every one of those papers, it acknowledged that you bought a car, okay? You got to come to grips with that and admit that you bought a car, okay? You got to. You didn't mean to, but you bought it. Then we can deal with reality, like trying to find out where the car is, okay? You need to get a hold of the car. What is your plan, Ron? Hold on. I need to know. Let's make a plan. I need to know what your plan is, okay? Let's talk about Pro Auto Care.
Car nanny. You know, I use that expression because Pro Auto Care takes care of my car. I love Al Aramis and the team. In business 26
in business 26 years, and Al will do whatever it takes to earn your business when it comes to specials and pricing and work. He has some unbelievable oil change specials. All you have to do is go to 303proauto.com and click on my name for specials just for the Martino audience. Pro Auto Care has 2 convenient locations near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles in Santa Fe. They are premier when it comes to repair and maintenance, and in between every service or repair, you get free roadside assistance. 303-PRO-AUTO. That's 303-PRO-AUTO.
The Fox Business Network on Wall.
I feel bad for this guy. I really do.
Well, I'm a little irritated they didn't call us back. Who left the messages?
And I don't know. Was it Greg? Oh, Greg must have.
Case Upton has come out to accuse him of inappropriate touching during the photo shoot years ago.
Boy, their reviews have gone to shit too since last time I looked.
Comments. Marciano has denied the accusations. And the president and CEO of the Gap is stepping down, and the company is looking for a replacement. Jeff Kerwin, who's been with the company since 2004, took the helm of the retailer's brand 4 years ago. Gap was once a cool
the general manager, please.
But has somewhat lost its luster and is wrestling with stiffer competition from the likes of fast fashion players like H&M. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Hillary Barsky.
Yeah, I'm looking for the general manager.
But as you grew up, things changed.
Are you the general manager?
Just didn't seem like the best option anymore. So
by the way, we don't think...
Okay, well, that can help. So, my name is Mark Major. I'm with the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. We're a consumer advocate show based out of Denver, but of course we're nationwide on the IR network. We have a caller on right now saying he bought a car from you, and I'll get into the issue in a second, but we've already left 2 or 3 messages for you guys. So is this something you can talk about?
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. For the most part, the drive across the metro area...
Well, you're not on the radio. You're on my cell phone, so...
Though eastbound 36 under shared.
No, I'm asking you to talk off here.
Block backups to Church Ranch at record. A couple of off-highway crashes. One at Kipling and Alameda causing big delays.
Yes, I do. Literally, we have the caller on the air right now. You're not on the air, of course. I'm trying to just get your side of the story or O'Mara's side of the story. You are not on the air.
Though, with a high of only 20 tonight, a slight chance of snow in the overnight hours. Partly cloudy. Overnight low of 4. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. A bit warmer. A high.
Okay, what time would you like him to
right now,
come in?
mostly cloudy and 10 with your traffic and weather.
Is he still on there now?
Does he know who it is? No, he's not on there. Do you have the guy's name and number?
O'Mara's just saying, hey, he's welcome to come in and talk to us.
But do they understand what it is, the issue?
No, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He won't put me through to the general manager. Honestly, I think something's going really downhill with these guys.
Are you serious?
What's your position?
They don't even take the guy's name?
He's the general sales manager.
Okay. Can I take
Sure,
it?
hold on.
Hey man, this is Tom Martino. This guy has a problem, but it's not a real problem. We just need someone to help him out. He claims he didn't need to buy a car, but he signed every paper, everything he put in front of him. He bought the car. We can't help the guy. But here's the problem. He doesn't know where the car is because he drove it back and left it there. And so I told him he's got to get a hold of the car no matter what, or it's going to be a repossession or something. And we're just trying to locate the car for him. O'Mara didn't actually do anything wrong with this transaction. Do you have a way of locating it? What's that?
Some of the lowest rates in the industry. If you're already in a mortgage,
oh, you know, okay, you know, yeah, he did. Okay, because he says he doesn't know where it is. And you took it back to him back in Christmas time, right? Right after Christmas. And you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it since. Did you leave the keys in it?
Of such incredible savings. A salary-based mortgage consultant will listen to your financial goals and customize a loan program to fit your needs.
I know. Listen, you guys didn't do anything. I understand this. This guy, I feel sorry for him. I mean, he can't be that stupid, but he said that he didn't buy the car, but we know he did. So you guys left it, and that's all. That's the last time you saw it, right? Okay. All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right.
All right, simplyfloorsinc.com, 52nd and Ward. You can go to the showroom or you can go straight to the website, Simply Floors Inc. You will absolutely love the company. You can get all the floor coverings of the big boys without those prices. Yes, you can save. This is where the little guy is outpricing the big guy because he's taking less profit. Simplyfloorsinc.com. And that's Buddy Mitchell and his team. Designer services as well. Simplyfloorsinc.com. I want to keep going here. We have, let's see, all kinds of people who have questions, problems, and complaints. And really, when you think about it, it is something that we can't do anything about. When you sign paperwork and you own something and then call and say you didn't mean to do it, and I'm referring to the guy that bought the car at O'Mara Ford. Now, I just talked to O'Mara Ford, the general guy identifying himself as general sales manager. He said he brought the car back, or they did, that day. He returned it, and they put it in his driveway, and they left the keys in the car. They had no choice. So, I don't think O'Mara technically did anything wrong. Okay, they didn't. They sold him a car.
I don't like the way they're handling it, and I'll say that straight up. That guy, in my opinion, that guy was an ass on the phone.
Well, he was not professional, if that's what you mean. Because he kind of said, he didn't act like an ass with me. He was very evasive. It was kind of weird. But he knew the problem. He knew the guy's name. He knew exactly what we were talking about. I
wouldn't shop there.
All I care about now is getting a hold of the car. I have a feeling it was stolen. We need to tell the guy to put a stolen report in, that the car was delivered to him with the keys in it on that day. He needs to do it because he has insurance. I bet you they wouldn't let it leave without insurance. So either a binder was taken, or O'Mara's going to have to pay for the insurance, or something.
The credit union would probably add it on.
So they need to put in a claim for a stolen car. He may very well get out of the deal by doing that, get enough money to pay off the loan. But he's not on right now, so we need to tell him.
You know, the bottom line is he bought it. It sounds like he bought it. He made the mistake, but the guy shouldn't have acted like an ass when we call. And O'Mara should call back.
No.
They've been a good dealership over the years. I don't know who's controlling that place now.
No. We've had a number of complaints about O'Mara that we haven't had in the past. We've had a number of complaints about Tynan we have not had in the past. So we can always tell when something is changing somewhere. And I think something changed at O'Mara, and I think something changed at Tynan's.
I'm sorry, what was your title? I just told you.
No.
Ass.
Mark, if the truth be known, you were a little gruff.
Me?
Yeah.
Gruff?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
Nikki, what's going on? Hello, Nikki with Jensen Appliance. Welcome. We love Jensen Appliance.
How are you doing?
Great. What's going on?
I have a question for you, and I don't know if you can help me. We've been 24-hour fitness members for 15 years, 2001.
Really?
Bought the family all-inclusive.
And you actually stuck with it. Wow.
I know. And what we did is we bought all-access, all-club, family, lifetime. So I upfront paid in 2001.
How much?
It was about $2,500.
So wait a minute.
That's cheap as hell.
No, it is. It's great. If truly, for $2,500, it's a family lifetime membership.
Right. You do have to pay $49 a year per person.
Who cares?
Another $50 a year per person, which I've kept up.
God, if they still have that deal, that's the deal.
Yeah.
So, well, no, they don't. So here's where I am.
All right. What's the problem?
They closed the Arvada Club to open the new Arvada Club. The new Arvada Club is now what they call Super Sport, which wasn't even in existence back then. We bought the Sport All Access. Now we can't go to the new Super Sport because we didn't buy the Super Sport package because they didn't even offer it. That we bought all.
So where can you go?
I could go to any of the clubs that are still in existence.
It's going to be in the contract. The answer to your question.
I know it is. It says that they can close any club and you can go within a 60-mile radius. I know what it says if it's still the same. Or it's going to be similar wording. They're not stupid enough to tie yourself to a location.
And what they did, and I just wanted to get your opinion, they're just saying we no longer have the sport club in Arvada, we now have the super.
Yeah, but would they let you have a lifetime membership there for a small upgrade fee maybe?
Well, $39 a month, which is exactly what my daughter-in-law could get walking in the front
Oh, well,
door.
that's ridiculous. Then your other membership is, they don't credit you anything?
Nothing. You still have to pay $49 a year, because you just do. And then if you want to go to this new club, you have to spend $39 a month.
But is there a lifetime option?
No, they don't do that anymore. I think they're just trying to weed us out, truthfully.
No, I don't think so, because you can go to any other club.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we.
And where's the closest club after that one?
There's one in Green Mountain.
And how many miles further?
Probably 15.
What are the differences? Does one have like racquetball courts and the other doesn't?
Yeah,
What's the difference?
Yeah, what is it?
They say that the new super sports, truthfully, amenities are exactly the same. Swimming pool, saunas, all of that's the same. It's just a newer, slightly larger club.
That's weird. That's just weird. I would think they would reward you, saying, look, you're a lifetime member. Now, for another $1,000, you'll be a lifetime member at this one.
Exactly, which would be perfectly fine.
Well, why don't you ask specifics like that? Did you actually...
all the way through from January 10th.
No, but did you ask a specific? For example, sir or ma'am, may I pay a lump sum in addition to what I just paid to get that lifetime?
I did. They are no longer offering any sort of lifetime option.
Unfortunate.
But I did get somebody at the club to get as low as $24.99 as opposed to $39.
Yeah, but that sucks. I mean, that still sucks.
Yeah, that's the best.
Because you already paid $2,500.
Well, yeah, and granted, we have used it for 15 years. So.
And also, you can still go, but it's 15 more miles.
Exactly.
And man, 15 more miles is nothing small. That's a long way.
Well, it's going to preclude you from using it as often as you would when you pass.
But
home.
I disagree with their trying to weed you out. I think it's just progress. I don't think that they said, hey, we're going to weed all these people out. They don't care. They really don't. And
you could rest
it's not costing them anything.
I could probably rest assured somewhere in that contract they have the option to open newer and better, and doesn't necessarily have to be my
And
club.
I bet you, Nikki, that let's put it this way: they're not doing things the referralist way, right? And that would be to give something to your loyalist.
Absolutely.
And maybe, Nikki, if you were an illegal immigrant, you could go there. That's just a joke. We've been talking about illegal immigration. So absolute radon safety is something that will give you absolute peace of mind. And here's how. Tests are just $20 or around $20, maybe a little more. But the real deal here is if you have high levels, either found by absolute radon safety or another inspector. Before you start spending thousands of dollars or ruining your real estate sale or not buying a house, you need to know that absolute radon safety can mitigate about 98% of all problems for just $899. That's their basic system that fits about 98% of the circumstances. So that's it. I know it's a big question mark. Oh my God, what is this going to cost? Radon, they say I have too much. Just $899. Give them a call at Absolute Radon Safety, either for testing or mitigation or both. And of course, if you don't have a problem, they'll tell you that too. They're honest. Absolutely honest at Absolute Radon Safety. 303-880-0682. 303-880-0682.
This report.
No major delays in the drive across the metro area freeway system there. Up to speed from Thornton Northwest to downtown.
I know a guy did buy the car, but that night he left and shook the guy's head and said, "I'll come back in the morning." And I think that's, he got okey doke. Even though it was his fault, he started papers.
Well, it is kind of weird that he bought the car.
Well, they had him there, and
I just don't like that ass on the phone.
Well, I'll bet you their sales guy shook his hand. I bet you he said, "Hey, come back in the morning and stuff and do that. Take the car."
Yeah, they give him the okey doke.
And to drop the car off with the keys in it.
Go to createtv.com/challenge for
find something.
If you win the contest, you could be your local Create TV's next video star.
No, it didn't. It was a brand new 2017.
Make it like it is.
So you didn't pay a ton of money. It's jettable, so I'm not sure how much to go for.
God, I'm thinking of joining that stupid gym they were just talking about. 24-hour fitness. Yeah, it's all month by month. I mean, I'd never buy a damn lifetime membership. Although for $2,500, boy, you'd have to read that contract good. Who used to have something like that, and they where to start?
There's a place by mine. I think it's down to $10 a month.
Yeah, it's good. I think mine's 24-hour fitness is like 26.
Not 24-hour fitness. It's a different one.
This says, you were in 24-hour fitness? This says, what is this? The more expensive monthly says includes access to super sport level clubs.
They're just different ones that have like some of them have swimming pools, some have house.
Oh, different clubs. Not a level in the same club.
Yeah, they're just different clubs. So it just depends on what's near your house. What's the best club?
Do they any have racquetball courts?
I don't know, actually. It's a good. I don't know. I'm sure they probably have some of them, like the super ones, like have basketball courts and some racquetball, I'm sure. But I mean, we live right. I mean, he lives right on it, so if I ever wanted to do racquetball, I'd just go to the rec center. Rec center.
Or you live in Highlands Ranch?
Yeah.
Those are so
yeah, that's one of the best examples of themselves.
Okay, so this says it's a super sport gym, so that's their highest level.
I would think so, yeah. I don't know. They've been changing it up lately. I think that is super sport.
Isn't that what the lady just said? Super sport?
Yeah, something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
In fact, you'll typically
super sport.
5 times more for your items than you would anywhere else.
So it's either 39 or 44. What's the difference? Oh, one is a commitment.
Oh, yeah.
Gyms, remember back in the day, Bally's, boy, you'd sign up, they'd have you for life if you didn't watch out.
And some of them have the introduction fee, too, so try to get that waived.
Right. You know, there are some really good clubs down there. This new international fitness.
This 24-hour fitness looks pretty fucking nice, man. The one in Castle Rock.
I'm at Cherry Creek Athletic Club.
Is it nice?
Well, Stephanie's been a member for 25 years.
But is it really old, or they keep it pretty up?
Oh, they keep it. They just redid the whole thing. It's not quite as nice as that one I used to Greenwood Athletic.
Do they have racquetball?
Not the banks, with customized terms for the purchase.
I love racquetball, but you know what? Even no matter the membership, they always charge you more for racquetball.
And see how hundreds of our clients are saving thousands.
South Suburban.
Do you like playing racquetball?
Yeah, I do. I haven't played for a couple of years.
Find out
how.
Call now 720.
Well, I play in my dreams.
Well, for lunch?
I beat you 4 times.
You know what? I don't know. Maybe when you write it down, you can't do it. But if you put like Simply Floors and next to it 2, that might be easier. Then I look at it and I can see it.
I don't know why there's 2 today. You know what happens is they're probably doing a makeup from Monday. Because they're lives, they roll in anything Monday back in because we were off.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Become the banker. Our guest today, we've been talking about getting out of debt by summing it up, and the emailer asked that I repeat it, but it's basically this. Whatever payment you're making on credit cards, only make minimums. Anything extra you have, plus whatever else you can put away, fund this special investment grade life insurance policy. Wait until you get enough accumulated in that account, because you can use it after day 1. You wait until you accumulate enough to pay off the lowest balance. Then you use that money to pay off the lowest balance. Now you keep making the minimum payment from that card to your policy while you're making minimum payments on the others. And then you save up enough money to pay off the second balance, the second highest balance. And then the, second lowest, then third lowest, and fourth, until you get to the highest balance. When you keep doing that, eventually what you're doing is borrowing from your policy and paying back that at a much, much better situation, because all of that interest is going back to you. And eventually, that $300 or $400 or $500 a month you've been paying in credit card is now going strictly into your investment account. And then the next purchase you make out of that investment account. Then later on in life, after doing this several times in several cycles, the theory is to have enough built up that it is a lump sum that you can take any way you want in loans without ever paying tax on it, because the death benefit pays back the loans. To find out more, becomethebanker.org, and you can also sign up for seminars there. So if anyone has any specific questions, Joe is in the studio with his son Jordan. And speaking of investments, Francis has a problem with an investment guy. Go ahead, Francis.
Yeah, you know, this is J.D. Milberg. They send out a card. I called him on the phone commercial to get all the information. The guy came out. They, you know, wanted him to show me the ropes and all. And I you know, gave him all the stories I could on how I never knew or got any of this stuff. It was a pretty sad story. And so the, you know, bottom line was that I was telling about, you know, want to know the income, how much you have to pay. It wasn't much. We owned the house and all the stuff. It just, you know, some little bills, and there was nothing to it. So they finally sent out a card where it was to get the most interest rate that I could, and something that was for retirement at 60. And also that you wouldn't gamble on it. And it's got a 10.83%.
That's how I felt, Tom.
Francis, I don't understand one thing you're saying. Let me get it straight. You're calling with a problem with someone who got you into an investment first, yes or no? Is that what you're... I didn't
take the investment. They didn't come through. They said that I would get this annuity.
Okay, so you never gave any money to this guy?
No.
So what's the point then? You didn't bother doing it, right?
Well, yeah, and it's supposedly... I'm trying to figure this out. There's no way that, well, they lied about that. Okay, I called him up with his postcard.
But you never did it, right? You never paid a dime, right?
That's not the point, though. If you could listen to me, can you?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 10.83%, 10-year deferral, and that's annually, and there's an 8% Summit Index bonus.
That's a scam. It's a scam.
Security life insurance.
It's a scam. It's a scam.
And they told me that I called the 1-800. I'm called right away.
It's a scam.
I did, and they said, yeah, you would.
Lord! It's a scam, Francis. It is a scam. Did you hear that part? You're not going to get 18% interest. Yeah. It's a scam.
Okay, and that's what they lied, and they came out. And even he said it was going to be that.
It's a scam.
And then when he shows me, he says, well, if you try to get your money out, it drops down.
But you never gave him any money, right? You never gave him. Let me get that straight. You didn't get ripped off, right? You did not give him money.
No. Good. I get that newspaper from the library.
Good.
Well.
Good. I'm glad.
Do you think it was a scam?
Adam, the dog bite bill 2 years later. I'm so sorry that we lost track of you. We're going to call you back tomorrow, okay? All right, I hope you're there. Anyway, to call directly on this, 303-779-6600, becomethebanker.org, 303-779-6600. Save all your problems for me.
Looking for ways to save on your Medicare Part D copay? Great news.
I can't tell if it's fake anymore with some.
I know, man. I tell you, I thought that one was fake.
But the guy said it wasn't a scam, though.
He just wanted everybody to know.
No, the guy was trying to get him there.
I don't understand why he called.
The guy said it wasn't a scam.
He lied. I want that scam back. I want what he said.
They tried to scam me out of the scam.
Can you,
Joe? Those pricks.
Can you also give me that?
No, see, I real down.
I don't know what to.